Pondoff's Anonymous is brought to you in part by McKelvey Insurance. Let's be honest, insurance sucks until you need it. That's why I fuck with McKelvey Insurance. These folks aren't just slinging quotes like robots. They're actual humans who solve real problems. Whether it's personal or commercial insurance, McKelvey works with over 30 companies to make sure you've got the best coverage at the best price without the bullshit. You're not just a number to them. They build real relationships. So when life changes, or your rates do, they've got your back. They'll shop around again and again to make sure you stay protected without ever overpaying. Call or text 618-623-0080 or hit up McKelveyINS.com. That's McKelvey, McKelveyINS.com. McKelvey Insurance. Quick solutions to real-life insurance problems anywhere in Illinois or Missouri. Guys, let me tell you about my good friends at LightSource. LightSource Psychotherapy in Belleville, Illinois is a small group practice committed to providing individual, group, and family therapy, as well as clinical and reflective supervision to those in the helping field. Check them out at findyourlightsource.com. They're the best in the business, my friends. I know them personally and well enough to tell you and put my name and word on it. If you're struggling with mental health, family issues, addiction, grief, you name it, give my friends Chaz and Holly a call. Their private practice is life-saving, and they will help you find your light.
Yeah. I'll react if I had to. Put some things in the past too, and don't let them distract you, but react if you have to. I'll react if I had to. Put some things in the past too, and don't let them distract you, but react if you have to. Yeah. React if you have to, yeah. Don't know the time, yeah. Just know that I'm, yeah, one of a kind, yeah. What's on your mind, yeah. We're hard to find, yeah. Beautiful mind, yeah. Still in my prime, yeah. Just know that I'm here.
Pondoff's Anonymous. I don't know if there was a official start or not, but we'll figure it out.
Yeah.
We're bullshitting. Do you know what episode?
25
Wow.
25
of season 2.
Season 2.
When does the season stop?
Oh, pull that mic up to your mouth.
Don't easy Tiger. He was gonna say something nasty.
There's a lady in the room. We're going to need to hold on.
Now,
We're going to need to
hold on. There are 2 men in this, 3 men in this room, and Chris and I were not the ones going to say something. I think it was this guy.
No, dude. I was just going to say I was number 1 when you said there was 25.
Oh,
I was number 1.
You're always talking shit.
He was number 1 though.
No,
I was number 1. I was the first episode.
First guest.
First guest. So you were episode 2.
Because it was you couldn't, you had to fucking do it remote. At least you're here today.
Yeah.
You know, giving
Is
tours.
it better in
In
person
the house.
when you're doing it? You get to
it's
feed
my
off each
first
other's
time.
energy.
Yeah.
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 I like
That
this
makes
setup
better.
better than in my living room, for sure.
Yeah, I had to look at all that fucking Chiefs shit.
Yeah. Go Chiefs.
The
bro.
Chiefs.
Fucking losers.
Right
on.
straight to your heart.
Chris,
Hi,
who's your
Chris.
team?
The
Cincinnati
Bengals.
Oh, the
the Bengals
Bengals.
are his team.
Where's that from?
They're from
Cincinnati.
Okay.
She was asking me.
I don't care.
Got a whole room that's going to
chirping.
answer.
Episode 25 of Carpenter's Anonymous. Hosted by Nathaniel.
He's got
Carpenter.
Skyline chili tattooed on his forehead.
Go for some of that right now.
Shit's disgusting. Gas station chili.
Yeah, right.
Terrible. It's absolutely terrible.
What is Skyline Chili?
So it's like a chain restaurant from
Okay.
like Cincinnati or lower sides of Ohio. I don't know where it fucking originated, but it's
You
like
have feelings about
it's
it,
like a
clearly.
steak and shake, but
you
it's
talk to
called
Chaz about
Skyline
this?
Chili. You literally go there for chili, and you can get it on noodles like chili spaghetti and shit.
That's
called
like
Chili
Steak and
Mac,
Shake.
It's
idiot.
disgusting.
That's-
chili
that's
mac.
Steak and
Okay.
Shake.
It's disgusting.
Have you ever eaten at Steak and Shake?
Yes.
They do the same shit.
Steak and Shake puts ketchup on that shit.
Skyline
That's
Oh, do
chili
gross.
is
they?
disgusting.
I can't eat fucking ketchup.
Disgusting.
Well,
Italian, it's a disgrace to my fucking home.
are you from Cincinnati?
No, I was born there, yeah.
Okay. Makes sense then.
Yeah.
Born there,
Jeez.
slayed tons of bitches.
Yeah, you're a Cincinnati
All right.
10 right there.
I moved here. I was
Metric
like, one.
tons of bitches, by the way. Metric tons. Like actual weight.
Why go for 110 when you can have 5 2s?
There you go.
Carissa, God
Yes.
bless you.
Yeah.
I guess Carissa was chirping me a little bit earlier. She's like, "So you're a Jesus guy, huh?" But I'm not one of the weird ones.
What
That's
does that
true.
mean?
There's a lot of weird fucking Jesus.
well.
I
You
don't know if
actually
they're
might be one of
Jesus
the
people.
weird ones because
True.
most of the Jesus guys aren't like you at all.
Are you religious or spiritual?
I'd say depends your definition. I like to like I'm a Jesus guy.
Okay.
Like I don't like I fucking like people.
Jesus.
And I don't like to exclude people.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't like to hate and bully people.
Isn't that just being a good person?
Sure, but Jesus was a good person. So,
Okay.
you know, that's so I'm
There you
gonna
go.
try it that way. Not
I
be
don't
a-
disagree.
not
I
be
don't
an
disagree with
asshole.
that.
But yeah, you're like, oh, I'm not very religious. Is that okay? Like,
I'm not
you're
religious.
Good. It's all good, bro.
Yeah. Nope. I would say that I'm a God believer, but not religious. Not.
Do you ever dip
know?
into like Buddhism or anything?
Yes. My brother was super into Buddhism, so him and I kind of connected on that. Did some meditation, all of that. I think I relate more to that.
I love that Buddhist shit.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, which is still God, you know? It's like your form,
Right.
which is totally
Well, yeah.
okay.
Yeah,
like
who the fuck am I?
like we say God in the rooms and it's good orderly direction, guard on duty, right?
Okay.
Like good old dependability. Like we needed acronyms. When
I
I
like
got
that.
clean,
Yeah.
I always say I said this in my episode, so I don't want to like
just go,
That's
bro.
okay.
Plug.
pirate anything. It is an original.
Fly like a bird. man.
But my relationship with the church was breaking out the windows in South Winds where I grew up, right?
Okay.
Like
Yeah.
I wasn't shown God, you know, we didn't
Okay.
go
Yeah.
to that type of thing. So
you get
I
touched?
found my relationship.
Did you get
yeah.
touched?
Yeah.
You probably did.
I found my relationship through the pain in my life. Like we
Right.
talked about when we were walking from group to group here at IRC. And it's like, I don't want to get too cliche, but like when I first got clean, people would say like, I was at such a point in my life, the only place I could look was up. You know what I
Okay,
mean?
sure.
And I identified with
That sounds
stuff
like
like
rock
that.
bottom.
Like my bottom, right? I was at the absolute lowest point in my life.
Mm-hmm.
Like there had to be a God
Sure.
to even get to that point. Now, it took years to just get that far, right?
Right.
This isn't day one or even in the first year. This is several years clean, working steps, having all these moments in my life that are just like, wow, how did this happen?
So can I ask the caveat
Please.
to that, because I love to play devil's advocate on most things?
Clearly.
You
Is-
love the devil.
is why I think I kind of said this to you in the hallway. Like, why don't you give yourself the credit for the
Yeah.
work that you did? Why is it that it has, and not that it wasn't
Yeah.
God or
No,
you know,
it's a
higher-
good question. I guess because of like spiritual principles are big in the 12 steps. Humility being one of them, right? So like, don't get it twisted. I can be the most obsessive person and selfish person, certainly in this room, rather on this property, right?
right?
But recovery is a call to action. And when you are in the process of recovery, like actually have I believe a program that you work on daily, like it calls you to do certain things. So like humility being one of those, or a driver. The book that I work out of says that humility is an ideal state for an addict. It's also the
Okay.
hardest place to
Yeah.
achieve, right?
Right.
Because true humility.
Right.
So I guess like my knee jerk is to go to that as a
Can
disposition. Like, why don't I give myself credit? I do, because I put my one
Yeah.
foot in front of the other. But like also, if Nathaniel's in charge, this is the same Nathaniel that did all the other
True.
things prior
Very
to
true.
having spiritual awakenings in my life and
Yeah.
a process. So it's hard to just say like I was the reason.
Sure.
You know?
can
think
I
that-
can I add to that?
yeah, please. do.
Um,
Hold on, my phone's going. off.
Nathaniel's like, hey, everybody silence their phone before we start.
Yeah.
His phone just went off.
there's no fucking way that I got here alone or got here on my own.
Okay.
There's not possible.
And you are a recovering addict.
I am. I'm
Okay.
just over 11 years clean and sober.
congratulations.
And I did not do this on my own.
Okay.
I had help from people, community,
Yeah.
JC. I mean, that's
Yeah, I like talking about everybody's story because I think everybody's paths are different, and there's a reason.
unique is probably
Yeah.
the better word
Yeah.
because we all are
Yeah,
fucking unique,
Yeah.
and we have a lot of similarities. And I got this from all the programs, from the God shit, the Jesus shit, the Buddha, whoever the fuck,
Right.
Allah. What it doesn't like. With actually, coincidentally, my pastor is also my close friend that said this. He, who's not in recovery, but when learning, you can eat the fish and spit out the bones, right? So take what works for you in each program and make it
Yeah.
make it successful. You don't have to
yeah,
eat the fish and the bones. Like,
I think life experience shapes it, right?
Sure.
Like, so there's a reason you believe what you believe.
Sure.
It's the journey or the course that your life has taken just as the same as everyone else in this room, and I think that with recovering addicts, there are just a lot of them. Most of us are not religious. I would say the majority of recovering addicts are not religious. And in fact, this is a big topic in the rooms, in 12-step rooms, like where it's very much like a separate issue. Like one of our opening readings is, this is a spiritual, not religious program known as Narcotics Anonymous, and it's because so many people are turned off, right? Now I would say subtly, the word God is in the basic text like 312 times or something, right? But that's where the acronyms come into play. Like I needed those when I got clean. Yeah. Don't talk to me. Don't say God, and don't you dare say the J word when I first got clean. You know what I mean? For a long time. So it's like,
I like your guys' spin on it though. I love just the openness of like, you got to make it a hodgepodge of anything that you need it to be to work for you. I think that's why I like your acronyms, because anyone can personalize it.
Exactly. And that's the point. Any communication with your higher power is prayer. So is like when you hear pray, I don't pray. Right.
Let's pray.
You don't get on your knees and go like this, but you pray because you talk to your higher power, whether that's looking at the cloud, right? This is just an example. And you appreciate that image, right? Sure. You have a thought, you have a reaction. This is my thought, right? You're praying. Any communication with your higher power is prayer. I really, really believe that. Okay. It can look like, it can look formal. See, that's where you get religious, I believe. This is totally like
when humans start fucking shit up and turn it into a fucking treehouse. That's when you can come in here if you follow suck my dick. Like that's what I'll fucking follow. Prick.
Yeah, are you gonna have to pray for that now?
No.
For that language?
See, that's a weird Jesus guy.
Jesus created this motherfucker.
Yeah, true.
He knows what he did.
Yeah, absolutely.
I so save a lot of this shit for Wednesday night, will you?
Yeah, bro.
Because this is why I'm inviting you. This is why I need you on this wisdom
team.
I know it.
I'll be there.
He's on my wisdom team. We're actually starting. I don't know. This is talk about.
Chris is gonna leave, dude. Straight up,
cat out of the fucking bag.
She's gonna say, "I knew it."
I'm okay. I'm an open person. I love to hear other people's opinions.
You got to take communion before you leave the fucking.
I draw my line there. I draw it.
Don't worry. It's bangs and it's
bangs.
For us non-addicts, it could be wine.
I don't even like that. So
we're starting a recovery type of. But everything he said, service, out of the church we go to on like Wednesday nights probably. And Nathaniel, so I've created this wisdom team to help me create this of this. Like I would love for you to be on the wisdom team,
sure,
because I can't. This place has to look authentic as fuck. It cannot look like even the church church I go to on Sundays. It can't look like that.
Yeah,
because that scares the fuck out of people, and we all want to be a place for spiritual refugees and people that have been fucking brutally fucked by the church and human being cocksuckers. Pardon my French. That that say you're like people that bully and make shit up, say you're going to hell because of who you fuck, and go fuck.
Right.
Yeah.
That's what because I grew up religious.
You're from Washington, Missouri.
Yeah, I didn't grow up Catholic, but I grew up religious.
Well,
and
you're Washington.
I think it turned me off because there's all those rules. There's people who will say you can't do this, but I'm going to go back behind the house and do it. Yeah,
that's where Miofsky came from.
I believe in God all day long, but
that's right.
I just don't like the rigidness.
See, so like
religion.
we're not just in this 10 minutes. We're not different. At all,
for sure.
I think the same thing.
Yeah,
these people,
but I will when I pray, I'll pray to Jesus.
Sure,
some of these
because I've come to believe.
Some of these Bible Belt fucks talk shit about the gays, but they're at home beating off to girl-on-girl porn. Like what the fuck?
Absolutely.
Then they're on church on Sundays talking shit.
It's hard for me in religion. So yeah.
That's a problem for a lot of people.
Man, I really hope the algorithms pick this episode up.
And what I love about, and I just happen to use girl-on-girl porn as my example because that's my arousal template.
Oh my God, don't discriminate. There's more than girl and girl.
True. We had a guy on talking about arousal templates. He was a sex addiction. Yeah. And
I was watching his episode.
Right. Yeah. I'm not a sex addict.
Yeah.
Just horny. He's a brave soul and he's a great guy. He had
a great story.
Him and Jacob did a collab while I was in New York City, I think, didn't they?
Yeah, they did. They did
Jacob's gonna be mad
science
because now
or
it's the second time I've
neuroscience.
admitted that I haven't fucking listened to it, and he gets all pissy.
It was good, man.
I know. Jacob's getting a lot of credit. That's sort of pissed me off. He's wise,
Share the
that prick.
limelight.
He's way smarter than I thought when I first met him.
Right. Not super smart, but way smarter than what you thought.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
He's on vacay right now. He got stuck at Lambert. Did you see this shit?
Sure did.
Yeah.
Fucking church fucks. It was all these the new Mormons.
Is that what it was?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was Adventist
What was
or
the
something.
actual problem?
Well, I
think I
just
ever
think
saw
they
that.
dropped
What the hell was that?
somebody's fucking oven.
I bet it didn't go off on the. Anyway, keep
Wouldn't
going.
mind.
Did somebody?
mine.
Somebody's brownies are done. So I think it's not the convention's fault. I guess there's thousands of people that got dropped off at this Terminal 2.
Oh, okay.
So Jacob and Laurel are vacationing in Texas, in Galveston, to give their life story publicly. They got caught in this shit. She was on Fox 2 News.
Wow.
Yeah.
What Jeff said, it was like the most polite way somebody could tell Southwest Airlines to go fuck
fuck
themselves.
Yeah,
off.
exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
It was.
I wouldn't be caught in that heat standing out.
They
for
were
my
all the way
hell
down
no.
where
to, like,
you
the interstate.
So you saw
yes,
it. Yeah,
that
it's-
was wild.
They were
I
talking about
think
like
that
old
was-
people were out there in that heat. I'm like,
Yeah.
gosh.
Lambert is the
That's
worst
wild.
fucking airport in the country to begin with.
Yeah.
When you ever been berated by the people that you get your baggage after about an hour and a half after you land, you finally get your bag, and then you walk outside
Oh,
to where
that's the
somebody's picking you
worst.
up, and you don't even stop the car. Keep moving.
Yeah.
Move it. Like
Yeah.
it's like, oh my god,
Yeah.
chill, bro. They said they could
Dude,
pick
like-
me up. You got to jump in.
I came back from Germany in March, and this was
Couple Zazitzas.
I waited at baggage claim at Lambert for no shit. It was an hour.
Wow.
Waiting for our bag.
Mm-hmm.
And even when my plane bags started to come out on the little turnstile deal, my personal bag took forever. I mean, it was not
Yeah.
coming.
The
I was,
fucking dogs were all over. They go one look at you.
Yeah.
They took one look at
It
you and
was so
said, "This
bad.
motherfucker's bringing."
I just had the
something back."
worst flight of my life. I don't even like flying, and I just at this point want to get home. To your point about all this, like getting my bag took forever. Getting out there and getting in the car to get
Fucking
home,
berated.
it sucked.
My friends
Welcome
and I,
to St. Louis.
Yeah.
Get in the fucking car.
Yeah.
my friends and I just came back from Texas, and I haven't been to an airport in probably 9 years. First time we walked in, they have the new, like where they spin you around to do the x-ray. And we came up hot and we had to be felt up bright and early, 6 a.m.
My God.
on a Friday morning.
That's
in
a
front
good-
of everyone,
good way to
mind
start
you.
Friday.
They're like, "Oh, do you want to go off?" And I said, "I'm not going
did you
anywhere
have
with
on you?
anybody.
Right.
Nothing."
It was your Bible. That's what it
That's
was.
it was, yeah.
Did you get the happy ending? Because that's what I always
no.
ask for.
No, it was a sweet young lady who made it quick, but
Oh, God,
they
she
make
would've
you
made
do
it
it in
quick
front of
on me.
everybody, and they're all just piling in behind you,
Yeah.
trying to get past. And
I always
I'm such a
get like
pervert.
in a line of like random pullouts. I'm always the one that gets patted down.
Well,
Look at you.
Look at you.
Always. It's funny. Like I'll joke about it, and I get that I'm the one that gets pulled out, and then I'm
Right.
laughing because I'm like, I am the individual that yes, at a point in my life I would have been the hot button, but now it's laughable because I'm like I don't break the law. Dude.
Yeah.
Like good luck.
You don't have an 8-ball in your ass.
No,
I don't break the law now.
No.
Good for you.
yeah,
That's
to the
great.
best of my ability.
So a couple of months ago, Nathaniel sends me a text. And he's like, "You got to have my girl on. Tell me about it. What you got?"
Yeah,
yeah.
I mean, so
Is the girl me?
yeah,
Yes.
yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
got it.
So Karissa
Her.
and I have been friends, like I say, my whole life, but
Yeah.
it was 5th or 6th grade,
You're
something
probably
like
my oldest friend, if
that.
we're
Yeah,
being
yeah, yeah,
honest.
for sure.
Oh,
I mean,
wow.
20 years? 20 years?
my memory doesn't go much farther back than the start of our friendship, so like
Yeah.
it's my whole life.
How close are you guys?
Yeah, so it's official.
Wow.
Pretty close.
Yeah.
I mean,
we're close, man.
We've ebbed and flown in our
Yeah.
life. Ebbed and flowed in our life.
So wait,
we
first kiss?
Were we a first kiss? Is that what you said?
no.
I don't
She
think
was
so, actually. No.
That is my question.
Oh,
she was
no.
a girlfriend of mine
No.
at 12 years old.
Yeah.
like that
There
was
you
a
go.
We
thing.
were babies.
But
She must have had limited options.
that's right. It was Washington.
Yeah, right.
yeah.
It was at it was the FFA thing, you know. I got, yeah, the Future Farmers of America.
Oh, God, yeah.
I got
Yeah.
mistaken for the cattle when they were walking out the cows, and she picked the best one. It was me, whatever.
She brand that ass.
yeah. No, so anyways, we've been friends for a long time. We have, there's like, I don't know, 4 or 6 of us.
Yeah.
A half a dozen of us that
Yeah.
were really, really close. And, you know, this was prior to my life going down a crazy road.
Yeah.
Right.
And then it did, and we weren't so close, you know what I mean? But we've always been
Good girl.
We've always were, I would say, a big part of each other's story, or at least in my words. So we've reconnected as adults. You know, she's married with children.
Right.
I have children, you know, on and on and on. Our lives went separate and they've kind of come back together. And it was just cool because she's always been a lot to me. And we reconnected recently, and she was, you know, I know her whole family. You know, she knows my family, and you know, she's got a good story and a big heart, and she was just asking about ways to get involved and kind of talking to me about that stuff. And I had dropped this like, hey man, I just did a podcast. I don't know if it's relevant or not, but
I was
we should
stoked.
try it out. Yeah. She
Love
was like, let's
podcasts.
go.
Yeah.
So happy to be a part of a podcast, especially about this topic.
Yeah.
So,
Sure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
this topic is specifically to her, as she's not in recovery, as she said, but it's she's passionate about it, and she'll get into why,
Right.
you know?
Yeah,
But,
and I
then
feel
of course
like-
we're cool, so.
Yeah, I feel like we ebbed and flowed in our friendship as far as, I don't know, I felt like we always reconnected on like, oh my God, a friend died.
Yeah.
Or, hey, how is so-and-so doing? And then that's when we would kind of,
Yeah.
because we all went through, I mean, you went through hard shit. I went through bad years in my life. And then it would be like, oh, someone died. And we'd come back together and see each other at a funeral. And then it was kind of back to the same old shit. And you helped me a lot through the end of my brother's addiction. I mean, I think I talked to you a handful of times, just like, hey, what do I do? How do I help or stop
for
enabling
sure.
whatever? And then I think when my brother passed, you were there for that.
Yeah.
And then just helping on the journey. I'm kind of at a point in my grief where I was like, okay, I'm just kind of ready to get back out there to help others, to make a difference in whatever way that is. So Nathaniel's been helpful.
Talking about it.
Yeah.
I'm telling you. And see, if people wonder, we were talking about this. There's I know of her, but one of Jeff's friends wants to come on, and she's not an addict, but she's what I call part of the Dead Dads Club that me and Ashley and Brooke, my sister, and we're all in, and it's how we make ourselves feel better. We're like, oh, the Dead Dads Club, we're together. But because she's been like, this is a place for talking about fucking grief, because that's one of the leading causes of self-medication.
Yeah.
Because people, it's brutal. But to your point, the easiest way to help someone is talk about it.
There's so
And-
much stigma of just keeping it quiet.
Oh
I
my
think for
God.
family members especially, it was like that when I was growing up. I'm sure for the addict who's going through
Dude,
it,
just,
of just keep
just
quiet.
like there's a large crowd that's going to identify with Chris and myself being in recovery, there's a large crowd that's going to identify with you, even probably bigger,
Yeah, for
because
sure.
you're someone that has lost someone very close to you and then struggled to redefine life and move
Yeah.
on, right?
Yeah,
Like that's
absolutely.
someone very close. That sucks, man.
Yeah.
Not to go back to the scriptures, but we do a church group here, voluntary, of course. We don't force anybody to come in. We just shame them if they don't. I'm just kidding. On Saturday nights from 6 to 7, we'll show like the sermon they played at church that I go to, and on the video, and talk about it. And the reason I bring it up is because there was this one used a verse about the light, the darkness never extinguishes the light, which can apply in whether you're religious or not. And people, when they lose their battle to this, the only way their light continues to shine is by us talking about them and by their community rallying around them. And this kid's still helping people. It's been 2 years. I used that in the eulogy, and I talked about it in our discussion Saturday night, because I said, who in this room, there was probably 22 clients that chose to come. And I said, who's all lost someone with this disease? And every fucking hand went up.
Yeah.
100% of the hands went up. Not 99%, 122 of 22 hands went up.
Yeah.
And that's like, it's not surprising, but it fucking floored me in that moment. And I'm like, shit.
Yeah,
And-
I often say, like, when I'm talking with people, either at work, like when I'm in a hospital working with professionals or whatever, I will say something like, if you look out at a crowd of people, every person in that crowd either is an addict themselves or is affected by the disease of addiction in one way or another.
Bingo.
And it's absolutely
And it's
nuts.
wild how
That's to
lonely
your
it is,
point.
though.
Yeah.
That, everyone's
Oh, that
affected
is
by
wild,
it, yet
yeah.
Yeah.
it's not talked about nearly enough.
So
Not at
I'm
all.
so grateful that you're
Yeah.
here.
I'm glad you guys are giving me the opportunity,
and
for sure.
From what we've talked about, the times we've connected before this, I to the whole point, I appreciate it, because if you were in that room, it'd be 23 of 23. And it changed the trajectory of your life, and you're grieving. And do you mind telling us about your brother? I know that's why you're here, but we're excited to hear the good, bad, and the ugly, obviously. And I'm so sorry.
Well, thank you.
To start,
I appreciate that.
I hate it. And that's why we're doing this.
Yeah. So I don't know where I should start exactly, other than my brother, his name was Jordan, and he was
Jordan. That's the name of the kid that I eulogized, and his he has so his friends started Jordan's Jumpstart, which is sober living in Kansas City.
Cool.
So we
We're
raised
from
money.
Kansas City, so
it's just
small world.
Yeah,
small world. But Jordan he started off his addiction, from what I remember, the first time I ever heard or was made aware of his addiction, I was 13, so he had to have been 15.
Okay, so he's 2 years older than you.
2 years older. And he ended up passing at the age forever 27. So 27 years old, died of a fentanyl overdose after a stint of being sober. For which that's how it happens, right? Stint of being sober for probably a year, I think. And then unfortunately was found by himself in a room, locked door, had overdosed. And I was actually the first one that found out that he had passed. He was living in Florida. So he got many stints of rehab centers, stints of sobriety, and then ended his journey in Florida. So he was a heroin addict. For, again, almost my whole childhood. It felt like, to your point, it's like you don't remember past a certain point, which I'm sure is the trauma, right?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, that I don't really remember much before the age of probably 12.
Got to get her to talk to Chaz.
Yeah.
That's our
out.
boy. Yeah, he's a Buddhist leader, so.
Even
He's
better.
an awesome guy.
Yeah, very cool.
He's an incredible therapist, and his private practice is sponsoring the show, so
Awesome.
Weave him in there.
He's an awesome guy.
But so there was, when I hear like stints of going to different treatments and rehab, there's a fuck up narrative out there about somebody that just can't get it together, and like that's so fucked up, because of the first thing I think is, what a fucking fighter. Like this.
Yeah, absolutely.
We're some of the lucky ones, man. And I did a good fucking friend of mine, also named Jordan, went to rehab 18 times before he lost the battle.
Yeah.
My brother went 15. My mom and I were just talking about that before.
That's why I told his mom, like,
you just can never stop trying.
Yeah.
Fought to the end.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's fucking warrior shit, man.
Yeah.
And I hope at some point, or if you guys haven't gotten that, you guys are able to see that. Like, that is incredible.
Absolutely.
Bravery. Like, I mean, this thing is
it's insidious, man. It attacks every area of our life and our mind. It's like, who knows what was going through his mind the moment before.
Yeah.
It could have been something so small.
Yeah.
And it's unfortunate. We talked about it over in the other building. Like, why am I here? I don't know. I don't know. But it's hard not to believe in something greater than me because I am.
Yeah.
Just that fact alone, I shouldn't be, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm glad I am. I'm not saying like.
I mean, you were homeless, fucking
bad.
Yeah.
There were so many times that I had wished for a different ending, you know, and hoped and tried.
Yeah.
It's like, it just wasn't in the cards, and I don't know why.
Yeah. And I watched my brother, unfortunately, some of the bigger moments in our history together, suicide attempts. I mean, all of that, with just the battle with mental health, bipolar.
So was he was bipolar? He
was bipolar, diagnosed at some point in my teenage years. I think the first time he tried to commit suicide, I was like 16. And then the second time,
can you talk about that a little bit? Like,
I'm an open book. I can talk about it all.
I mean, I don't want to like speed through this, because but a good friend of mine has written books on bipolar, and that's another thing we fucking just make up shit on and call people bipolar if they're having a bad
too
day.
much of that. Yeah.
Like, it's a fucking major sick mental health issue, like that people often are self-medicating because the medicine fucks them up in a different way.
Yeah.
So they try something else. And it really is a brutal mental health condition. So to hear there was attempts, like you were 16, how did that, what happened?
That's a big moment, probably like one that stands out pretty heavily for me. My brother and I, first and foremost, very close, very close siblings. My ride or die for sure.
Is it just you two, or do you have other?
I have a half brother who lives in Texas that I've reconnected with more recently in my adult years, but it was just Jordan and I growing up with a single mom. So his first attempt at taking his life, I was the one that found him. So I had a friend over with me.
I'm just keeping track of your trauma here.
Yeah, right. I had a friend over with me, and we had just happened to go downstairs on a summer day into our family room, and his room was in the basement, was connected to that. And I just happened to see on our couch, you'll probably remember, it's the house that I'm in now. I own the house that all this happened in.
Wow, that's something to unpack.
It is. Yeah, absolutely. So I found scattered like legal notepad papers all over the couch. And so I walk over and I start just kind of sitting down, looking at them, and see that one's addressed to me, one's addressed to my mom, one was addressed to my mom's fiance at the time. And as I'm kind of reading them, it's not connecting what I'm reading at first. And then all of a sudden I'm like, oh, it's like the, hey, take care of my mom and my sister and all of that. So I think at that point I had called my mom. I was way too scared to go into the basement and see if he was alive. And so called my mom. And I think the only thing I remember asking her was, did you see any of these notes that are down here? She said, what are you talking about? And I didn't say anything. And I think she could tell the panic in my voice. And all she said was, go wake him up, give him the phone. And so I just like stood at the top of the door, could see him. I think I could see his legs from where I was standing, but didn't know if he, was alive or dead. And he must have heard me on the phone talking to her, and he grumbled something pissed off at me that I was on the phone with her. And so at that point, I gave him the phone, and it was like, nothing ever happened. I think we had we used to have little mini family interventions. I don't know if you guys ever did that, but we had so many family interventions with him. It was just like, every other week it would be a conversation where we all talk about the bad shit that happened, and it usually resulted in him going to rehab. And that was one of those times that I think I realized how much his addiction was affecting me and how selfish it felt that I had to go through finding something like that I had to now have the trauma of finding something like that he wasn't apologetic. He didn't accept. It wasn't like, I'm so sorry, sister, that you had to find that. Yeah. And I just remember that was probably one of the first times that I told him I was mad at him, was like really kind of just out there with like, you pissed me off. Like, how could you allow me to find something like that and then not have any remorse? My adult self, my healed self would say, he probably was upset he even woke up. You know what I mean? It wasn't that he was upset with me for finding anything. It was
just the description.
Well, and when you don't know anything about the disease of addiction either, it's like it feels personal. Well, how could you do that to us, Jordan?
You're thinking logically, and nothing
addicts
he's
don't
doing.
Think logically.
No, it's not like what you're saying. The behaviors he would have had there would have been healthy, and we wouldn't be talking about
absolutely
it. If that would have been an example of strong, good health. Like, I'm sorry that I fucking almost put you through. Like, you're not able to do that.
Right.
I don't like that's not, and we don't know that as a 16-year-old. We don't know that as adults.
Yeah.
So good for you for getting to a place where you can. I mean, you've done some really hard work. Yeah.
Well, and then honestly, so that happened when I was 16, and then there was a second attempt that I was a part of.
And he's full blown into it now.
Oh yeah.
So he got addicted. You said at 15.
15.
What year did he pass away, Carissa?
2017.
2017.
Okay.
Yeah.
What was his drug of choice? Did we talk
heroin.
about this?
Heroin.
Okay.
And fentanyl turned into fentanyl.
Oh shit.
But I think by the second time it happened, I was an early adult, the age of maybe 21, 22. And it's like our relationship had evolved and my mental state probably had evolved. But my mom had called me on the second time. I think my brother was back living with her. And I was living a couple towns over, and I got a call at like 3 a.m. And my mom doesn't do that. And so woke me up out of a dead sleep. She's crying. Hey, he's in the ICU. Need you to come up here. He tried to kill himself. So
how was he trying? Sorry, did it?
The first time, I think every time has been like
intentional
pills.
ODs. Okay,
yes,
got it.
And it wasn't even on his drug of choice. I don't know the first time, but the second time I was the cleanup crew. So I cleaned up his attempt of suicide so that my mom didn't have to clean up the attempt. And that was a shit ton of Tylenol PMs that were broken open. I mean, over a whole bottle had to have been. And I think that that's what he did. I don't know if heroin played a part with that. Like it was, you know, but yeah, and I think that that was the first time after talking with him. My mom had left the room when he was in the ICU, and he had woken up out of the coma or whatever they had him in. And I think all I remember saying was, I'm just so glad you're alive. I love you. I'm so glad that you're alive. And he hadn't seen my brother cry too many times, but he just broke down. He was like, I'm not glad I'm alive.
Fuck, man.
Yeah,
and that
just
stuck
hearing
with
that
me a
is
long
like,
time.
It's like he was
The level of
suffering,
pain,
you know, and it's,
the level of pain that he's in.
Yeah, because I knew her brother from a different lens. You know,
Yeah.
like her brother wasn't.
He didn't
big
like
fan.
you, I don't think.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
wasn't a big
Joke.
fan of me. You know, like I was his younger sister's hoodlum friend.
Yeah.
Essentially, that
Making
wasn't
bad decisions.
I was
Yeah.
making bad decisions. I was a couple years behind.
It's interesting that he doesn't want that for her.
Yeah.
Oh, so
Hang it, but
protective
he
of me.
couldn't-
Yeah.
He couldn't.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
protective of me for sure.
I was like that with my little sister, while I was putting down 2/5 and smoking
Yeah.
a ball a night. Like if she was dating some guy that was doing what I was doing, I would have fucking killed him.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It's
right.
that
So I get that.
protector. It's
Yeah, it
that
was
protector
same
in a
type
big
of
brother.
thing, yeah.
Yeah.
But it's crazy to sit here and hear all that, like from my perspective. Not that I'm the focal point here, but because I know her brother and her family.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, not to chirp on your town or where you guys are from, but I mean, I'm surprised that you guys didn't use it together.
Well, he didn't
Yeah.
like me.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
He-
but-
we had different
but
groups of friends.
Have you used
Yeah.
heroin with? Did you use heroin with anybody you didn't like before?
Well, sure,
That's why
sure.
I'm like,
yeah. It's funny that you're saying that because
Yeah.
I'm thinking about it.
Surprising.
It's like
it's not like you're in New York City where you
different types.
Right.
Her brother was like
Per
a
capita.
skater,
Yeah.
right, and like hung out with those
fucking
kids
airwalks and vans and shit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I
God
was.
bless.
He was really popular.
He was
for
cool.
a lot like you. I mean, the bully.
Yeah.
If we're a bully,
Yeah.
popular, like everyone's friend.
I think we probably would have had there not been. I was her younger sister's
All right.
hoodlum friend.
She's got
You
my
were
head.
like you were
I
the football
appreciate
guy,
it.
right?
Yeah,
You were like the
exactly.
jock guy.
As sick as you two were, he had some boundaries.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
He was
did.
like the haircut, hair flip skater
Uh-huh.
guy, right?
Yeah.
I was not
And
on
you're
a
the-
skateboard.
Oh,
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Poor
For sure.
skateboard.
So just different.
You were
I
on
don't
the
know,
football
culture.
field.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
But did you
And-
know any of that about my brother when we were growing up?
Yes, yeah.
Okay.
Are you?
Yeah.
Because you two the same age, so he's
Yeah.
a couple years older than you.
Mhm.
Well,
Yeah.
same high school.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. We all went to the same school.
And when did
man.
you start? I mean, you started smoking shit and using.
Yeah,
as
when
soon
I
as
was
you,
12.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I didn't
before you
know
had hair.
that.
Yeah.
Before you had
I didn't
hair on
know
your
that.
peaches.
Yeah.
You were fucking you.
Listen, so we have to slide this in. We
Oh.
talked about sliding it in. So there's
A
a
Jack in the
story,
Box
a
story.
Jack in the Box story that her brother's involved in, and
It
us
shows
too.
how much he hated you. So
Yeah, yeah,
it's
yeah. So-
probably a good time.
Love, I
to
tell you
plug
what.
it in.
So this
I have
is-
puked up some fucking Jack in the Box tacos.
Haven't
Yeah.
we all?
and I
We
love
all
them.
have.
And they
So
taste the
I'm-
same coming up than they did
Just
going
as
down.
good.
I
Yeah.
still love a
I
Jack in
do
the Box
too.
taco. I don't
Yeah,
care
the
what anybody
buttermilk,
says.
baby.
Yeah.
Yeah, buttermilk.
So
With
I'm
ranch?
There's one way too
Absolutely.
close to here.
I'm 12 years old. I think I touched on this in my podcast. Maybe I didn't. And for my family that's going to listen, I'm sorry.
Oh, do they not know?
I don't know.
Oh, my
They're
mom
gonna-
knows. My mom
you're-
knows
well,
about
of course
it.
your
Yeah.
mom knows. So I stole
wanna know where this is
my
going.
grandma's car. Okay?
All the shit you've
12
done,
years
12
old.
years
talked
old.
about. Now you're like trigger
sorry.
warning people on
Yeah.
on this story.
Only my family.
Where the fuck
Because
Yeah.
it involves
is
them.
this going?
Yeah.
Only my family. Anybody
Looking
else?
back, very scary and wild that we did this at 12.
Stupid.
Very
Bro.
scary
Is
and wild.
it important to note that your mother's a clinical director?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So-
How's Charlie?
He's 11.
Okay, so
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
think of your 11-year-old
Ain't
doing
happening.
this.
Dude, listen, I was the definition of a bastard.
Yeah.
Like, I'm 12 years old making grown man decisions. So,
Uh-huh.
12 years old, I steal my grandma's car. And my grandma
Late
doesn't
at
know
night.
this, but I did that all the time. Shout out to my mom, I stole her car too. But it started with my grandma.
that's going to be a real.
Listen, this would be days of planning, right? And I won't get into how I did all the stuff because it's just long-winded. But long story short, we're in 6th grade. She's my immediate friend group. I've got
Yeah.
a couple of them. And I'm going to steal my grandma's car this coming
Mm-hmm.
weekend. So we talk about it, I think. This is how your brother finds out about it. Because
I know how he found out.
Okay, well, you save that because
Okay.
I don't remember.
Okay, got it.
Long story short, I steal my grandmother's car and my grandiose idea. I'm 12, right? No money, no car, right? I'm 12. I don't have a fucking job. I have
How you
keys
knew how to
a car,
drive
though,
a car
right?
is beyond me.
Right. Don't even know if I
Yeah.
know how to drive. But I take my grandma's car, I drive across town, and I pick
On
Karissa
the highway.
up.
You
Yes.
had to have gone highway because
Yes.
of where I lived. Yeah.
I pick Karissa up, and I have no plan, no money, don't know what I'm going to do, but somehow I'm like, let's go to Jack in the Box, right? So we drive to Jack in the Box, and I'm
To
driving.
get tacos, I'm pretty
99
sure.
cent, baby.
I'm trying to get into the drive-through in my grandma's Jeep Liberty, and you'll have to help me with the story because it's vague for me. But Jordan, her brother, rolls up on a bicycle,
A mini bicycle.
yeah,
A
not even a
mini
20-inch bicycle, a child's bike.
Oh.
Okay,
This fucking town.
It's not like a
basically,
dyno. It's not
dude's
like
gonna whoop me if I don't get out of the car. So
Yeah.
he's like, "Get out of the fucking car." I get out of the car.
Why does
and
he
I-
want to
Threw
fight?
his mini bike in the
because
back of the Jeep Liberty.
his sister just ran away, and a 12-year-old's driving
Yeah.
her. You know,
Yeah.
like I'm
That's
driving a car at 12.
Whoop
It's not-
that ass. Yeah.
So listen, I don't remember all the details, but I remember getting out. He puts his bike in the back of the Jeep. He drives. I get in the back seat. Carissa's still in the front of my grandma's Jeep. He drives us back to her house.
Yeah.
They get out. He gets his bike out and tells me to get
See
the
you
fuck
later.
out.
Yeah.
So I got my grandma's car.
See you
My friend just
later.
got taken back home by her older brother. I guess I'm going back home.
You're trying to get some in the Jack in the Box
So
drive-thru.
the details of that were that you came to, we had friends over that were
Yeah.
our friends. My brother had his friends over,
Oh, that's how
and
I
you
got caught
tapped
up.
on the window. And you're like, okay, sneak out. Let's go to Jack in the Box. And I remember asking my older brother, I was like, do you have my back or don't you? Are you going to keep my secret if I sneak out and go? I don't even know. I didn't do crazy shit. So you were a bad influence because I don't
Yeah.
know what I was thinking.
You're just like, let's go.
And my brother was just kind of like, yeah, whatever. Like, if that's what you want to do, whatever. And I'm like, okay. So I do it. And no more than 10 minutes later, and it was raining.
How far is this Jack in the Box?
It wasn't far.
I
It
mean,
was,
for him to get there on a
mile.
bike,
A mile.
it was, yeah,
Yeah.
it wasn't
he was
far.
peddling that
Yeah.
motherfucker, man.
He was coming for blood, bro. I was scared
was.
to death.
I just
He
picture him
was.
peddling this little
Yeah.
ass
Yeah.
bike.
Yeah, my brother used to beat the shit out of anyone and everyone. So like he shows up, it was raining, he's on a mini bike, and we see him. I'm like, oh shit. And I think he instantly like opened your door and was like, get out.
Yeah.
Get out.
He was on fucking roll.
I'm driving
your
you.
ass.
You're not driving my sister around.
Yeah.
And then that's all I remember about that. But
You were
We didn't
good.
get any
Yeah.
food.
No,
We just drove through the
we
drive-thru.
drove and then
I'm going to Jack in the Box on the way home.
oh my gosh.
Yeah,
They
crazy.
should sponsor this motherfucker.
yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah, so that's a
Yeah,
good
he just
one. That
wasn't
was
a
the
fan
start
of
of
me,
the
and
hatred.
rightfully so. He
Yeah.
shouldn't have been. You know, I was
Bad
up to no good.
influence. Bad influence on the sister.
We talked about on my podcast, or not mine, but when I was the guest. But I like to be outside.
okay, you can say
that's
mine.
an
It's our baby.
example of
Yeah.
what I like to do outside. I like to fucking do everything but
cars.
what I was supposed to
Yeah.
do. Yeah,
That's why you need GOD
that's right.
Yeah.
guiding your shit.
Yeah.
Another
Yeah.
plug.
That's how it started. How it ended was different, but
Yeah.
it started by taking Granny's car.
And I don't remember any other situations with you and my brother after that. Really, you just wasn't a fan.
No, yeah,
period.
no, just wasn't a fan of me. We
Yeah.
had a totally different friend group, and
Yeah.
So Jordan wakes up in the hospital and he starts
Yeah.
and starts crying because he's fucking in that much pain. That
Yep.
was at. You said how old were you when that?
I was probably 21.
So he's 23. So
Mhm.
this, and then so what happened after that? Did he
So
go to? Was this not in? This was he hadn't been to Florida yet.
I don't think he had been to Florida yet.
Alright.
I think that might have happened pretty soon after that
Him
time
going to
frame.
F-
Yes.
okay.
But like I said, my mom, I mean, I'm the fixer of the family. I'm sure that's where my own trauma comes
What's
from.
that Enneagram? That's a number. You know the
Yeah.
Enneagram. We talk about it a lot.
You like it.
What
That's
is
cool.
it?
I don't know.
Come on, you're the fucking Enneagram.
I'll look it up. I don't know.
I'm gonna text.
Roll the
Ash.
tape.
What the? F-
What
I wonder
numbers?
if this is,
What Enneagram?
it's all my. It's the computer making that noise.
Oh, okay. But so I was really protective of my mom, protective of my brother. And so whenever I knew that he was living with her and that he had tried to commit suicide, I was like, you don't go home and clean it up, Mom. I'm going to go there, and figure everything out. And when I went back to the house, like I said, I had seen in his bedroom that he had just pills scattered all over the floor that were opened up. I found his phone, and through his phone, he had recorded probably 20 suicide videos.
Oh shit.
Like leaving.
like goodbyes and shit.
Yeah,
God,
talk about. I watched every single one of those motherfuckers
you're
too.
fucking
I
glutton
watched
for
every
punishment.
single
Good for
one.
you,
I was
though.
hurting my own feelings, and it was like
I just got that.
all I could think was like he was trying to get it right. Like he recorded so many of them because he was trying to get his goodbye right. And every time he left any kind of a suicide note or video, it was like, it's not your fault. Like specifically, he would say to me, it's not your fault. Like, don't take any of this on. He left suicide letters, I think, at that point too. And I think the story from my mom was that she had heard him hit the bathroom door that night and tried to get in. And I think he had said from the other side of the door, if I'm remembering correctly, like, I need you to take me to the hospital. Like he was regretting taking what he had taken. and she
See, that's
had
what
to
I mean.
get him
He's
out.
a fucking fighter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
It's a push-pull, man. It's really crazy to talk about it and hear it.
So
just because you can
deep.
empathize so well.
Hell yeah, man.
He hated himself. He was very, even when he was sober, and maybe you guys can relate to this, but socially anxious to be. He always thought people knew. Like walking through Walmart, anywhere, any crowd he was in, he would always say to us, like, he just thought people knew. So even when he was sober, it was like that constant push and pull of like, I don't like myself.
Yeah, I think your brother just really struggled with mental health on top of substance use.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Like,
I mean, bipolar's like one of the worst.
Yeah, was he
mental health
diagnosed
conditions.
yet when all that was happening?
Oh yeah, I think he got diagnosed early on.
Yeah.
I don't remember a lot around that as far as like, I don't feel like he talked about it or my mom talked about it, or I'm sure he was medicated at different times. They always, as a part of, I feel like, recovery, wanted him to go to counseling, and he was just wouldn't do it. Hated every counselor, would specifically say and do things to get kicked out of counseling sessions. Just didn't really want to help himself in those ways, I guess. But yeah, I mean, he was definitely a fighter's a good spin to put on that.
I mean, from what I know, and you know, to use an Eric and Jacob, I'm not a clinician. I'm certain none of that shit. But from what I know of just hearing people that have suffered like bipolar 1, it's definitely like the medication, and then finding the right one, because there's multiple, and some of them, I mean, they're fucking strong. Like, I mean, I don't want to get shit on by like clinicians or therapists or your mom or shrinks, like, but there's like schizophrenia, and then like just a couple notches below that is bipolar. It's up there. Like it is like these manic episodes that our out of body experiences could last for weeks, months. And, you know, I've heard people that when they have because what goes up come down, they'll fight the come down of their just their mania, not with meth, because that's how far low they're going. So like, I'm going to just use meth to try to get me back to the middle. And then when you're so fucking manically high, I've heard people that have used heroin to try to stop it. Like it feels like you're flying off into outer space, somebody said.
Yeah. So much about treatment too is like trying to find the baseline, right? Because drugs exacerbate your mental health symptoms, and it's like, are we self-medicating? And do we need to find what that baseline is to get a proper diagnosis and or medication? Yeah. Or are we just using drugs? You know, like do we just suffer from the disease? And I hate to say just, but
is it both?
There really is. I mean, I think we all have some layer of mental health disorder, but some more than others. Some suffer truly. I think Jordan was one that suffered from mental health.
Well,
my mom, grief and
like
PTSD was probably for me personally, and the grief was fucked up, and I got to the point where I was so depressed at the end, like I didn't have the balls to fucking put a gun in my mouth or do the pills. But I did not want to wake up when I passed out drunk. I was like, I don't care. I'm ready to go be with my old man and my friends and all that. I'm done.
Well, my mom would always say what I think, and she still asks this to this day, is how can I have two kids that grew up in the same exact house with the same exact, my dad wasn't around growing up, single mom, had really the same start, right?
Exposure, same everything,
And she would always say, how did you not become an addict? And how did he, what turned him, or what was so bad, or what traumas did he have that maybe we didn't even know about, right? So she still struggles with that one.
I bet. As a mother, I can never imagine. And that's something of all the things I can't imagine how a mom feels losing a child. That's super plausible. You know, what I want to tell her, and I don't know shit about fuck, is that's just proof that it's it's not your fault. Like it's what
Well, I've heard a psychologist recently say something about how when people ask that question, it's two kids might have grown up in the same home with the same parents, but they never have the same experience because of who you are, your mental health.
We started
your state.
this by talking about us. We're all unique. Right.
I said it on my episode too. Like my personal story with the three brothers, three of us in the same house. I am the one that turned out to be the drug addict or whatever. We're all mischievous to a degree, but I took it much farther than everyone else. And same question, right? Like how?
Look at you
I had
now,
a different
though, baby.
experience, you know, totally different. The way I perceived the same story is very different, you know?
Sure.
So it's crazy, but it is crazy. I can be in this position and still empathize and sympathize with your mother. Like, that's a tough one, man.
Yeah, absolutely.
So he goes to Florida.
Yes.
And how do you lose contact, or do you guys stay in contact?
No, yeah, we were always close. Always ebbed and flowed with I'm mad at him because he's not reaching out enough. He's an addict. It affected me, whatever. And he had a very, looking back now as an adult who's had a lot of therapy, I would say that there was like a cycle in my family almost where, although my mom, great mother, and took care of me wholeheartedly, it's like she had to put a lot of effort into him to make sure that he was staying sober, helping him, resources, whatever. And he always put a lot of focus on making sure I was protected to not become like him, not become an addiction. Sure. And then I was always turning around and trying to protect the both of them. And so I think that he just always had a certain relationship with me where he wanted to hide what he was doing because he didn't like the disappointment. I want you to do better. And so we really ebbed and flowed with contact, but still very close. He went to Florida a couple of times, came home, lived with us again, would ultimately relapse, go back. I think he went to Arizona for a rehab once. He went to, my mom and I were talking about this before our way here. I don't know if you guys have ever seen the Netflix, I think it's on Netflix documentary, or have heard about these. They weren't boys' homes. It was called, I think it was like Midwest Academy in Iowa. And there was this whole documentary out not too long ago about all of these kind of troubled youth homes, not like a military school, but something of the sort.
I did watch. I don't know if it was I thought it was like in Northeast, but keep going. I think I know where you're going.
They basically that all of these were uncovered being like abusing children,
right.
Mentally, physically, whatever. That's where his journey really started out. And the first time that I had heard that he was an addict, it's like my mom didn't know what else to do, sent him to one of these places where, still etched in my brain, I just read the article about the place before I came here. Where
was it the programs? The program?
It was called Midwest Academy. They've like
no, I meant the documentary.
What's the Netflix show called?
Yeah, maybe I don't remember.
Hell Camp. Anyway, sorry.
Yeah, no, you're fine.
I think that's what I watched.
Yeah, they're
Some
interesting.
girls, they went back to this shut down.
I think that's the one I'm talking about.
Okay, they went back and they were like,
here's all the crazy shit that happened in this place.
Yeah.
Hell Camp, Teen Nightmare.
Yeah.
They would basically bust into your room and fucking your parents would give them permission and like straight jacket you and fucking kid like
Jesus.
Yeah. They do crazy shit. But he went to one of those. I mean, again, it was a spot where my mom didn't know what else to do. Single parent, not a lot of help there.
Sure. You guys ever go to Al-Anon or Nar-Anon?
I once, and I probably wouldn't go again. It was not my thing. I was an angry teenager.
That's okay.
Yeah, and it was just not. I was there with a bunch of older adults whose kids were addicts.
Sure.
I was the only young person. And I think at that point, I was so just angry about... I was just angry all the time that like I was dealt this. I'm not even the addict. Why am I living in this whole thing? Why do I have to help take care of my brother? So at that point, I just was pissed off at everyone. I think I remembered just looking around like, yeah, you guys are all a bunch of idiots, like letting these, these people do this to your lives and whatever. So yeah, we tried that out. But yeah, he ended up going to this, I think it was called Midwest Academy, where when we went in and toured it to drop him off, I mean, things that stick out in my mind, the kids weren't allowed to talk to you. You weren't allowed to be spoken to when you toured it because they didn't want kids to tell you anything that's going on.
Right.
There was levels.
Gosh, man.
There was levels that you'd have to go through where when you started off like a level 1, you only got peanut butter and jelly for every meal of the day. And as you went up, you got more.
Remember in this fucking show. Yeah.
You got more and more as you went up. And if you did, I think the thing I saw in the article was like, if you had bad posture, they'd take points and you'd go back down to level 1.
Yes, it was a point system.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, it was really wild.
Like the Scientology rehab.
Yeah.
If you weren't fucking putting out
Crazy.
for the staff,
Yes.
right? You'd get loose points. These fucking psychos.
And I remember like his letters from that place when he would write letters or anything, like you could tell that they were very curated to don't tell your family anything about what's happening here or how miserable you are. Luckily, he only stayed for I think like 2 months, and some people were there for a lot longer than that. But that I know that was probably a huge point in his trauma as well. So we were just always trying something new, always trying to find a new rehab, a new program, whatever. But in Florida, that's where he ended his journey. I want to say he was there for at least probably 3 or 4 years. And again, that that kind of was up and down. It's like, is that like the rehab capital of the world?
Unfortunately.
Yeah.
It is.
We could do episode after episode after episode on the Florida Shuffle.
Yes.
Yeah.
And he would say how like fucked up they were.
Listen, there are some life-saving treatment centers down there.
Mm-hmm.
It just got saturated with a lot of fucking wrong people.
Yeah.
And I don't mean clients.
Yeah.
And that we'll bring on Eric for a couple of those conversations because he saw it firsthand.
Yeah.
Yeah. I did too.
Yeah.
Yeah. 100%.
He would just say that they were terrible, but he did, he lived in sober livings there. Like he made it through the program or different steps of the program multiple times. And it just, I don't know. I actually read his text messages after he passed.
Oh wow,
on his phone.
Ballsy.
Yeah,
you do
again,
like
hurting my own feelings, right?
Love
hurting
your own feelings.
But just trying to get an insight into like what the hell happened. Like he was sober. He was supposed to come home for Thanksgiving. I think he died November 19th, and Thanksgiving was like the 24th. So he was a few days away from coming home. He hadn't been home in a long time. We were all really excited about him coming home. And my mom had just happened to say a few days before he passed, like, I haven't heard from him in a while. It's kind of odd. And and then he passed. And when I got his phone, when I got his phone, saw just like his texts to his girlfriend about her trying to say, like, you have to stay sober. Like, we're going home to your mom's house. And then I would see little things where he was obviously trying to get drugs. And then ultimately he did by himself, locked in a room. I think his roommate found him.
Was he in a sober living, or was he like sharing
he was sharing a house with multiple other sober persons? But I actually found out there's like a joke in the family. It's a terrible joke about like I always find the dead things. Like I'm always one that finds the dead animals or whatever. And I was working for my mom in an office.
I love the comedic relief. Is the only way I can get out of it.
How can we get through it?
Otherwise, you're going to fucking spiral.
Yeah. But the way I found out my brother had passed was I had gotten a Facebook Messenger from someone I didn't know. And all they said, are you Jordan's sister? And I instantly was like, uh-oh, something's wrong there. And he said, if you are, call me. And so I was like, uh-oh, okay. Again, he was supposed to be home in a few days. Call the guy. The second the guy picked up the phone, I go, yeah, this is Karissa. And he just goes, Jordan died. Oh, and I said, what?
Dude,
this is exactly the same.
Becky's Jordan, the kid I was telling you about.
It was all through a Facebook message.
Yeah.
It was
some girl. And she's like, she called Jordan's phone.
Yeah.
No, I got to fucking get you guys together.
So this roommate of his had called me, said he's dead. Yeah. And I said, what? And he goes, wrong person, just kidding, and hangs up.
Oh my God.
And so I was instantly like, well, it's clearly not the wrong person. So I tried to call the phone number back. They wouldn't answer. And I'm in the office and my mom is
as far
like,
away from Florida as you can be. Like, get the fuck out of here.
And
what does that even mean? Wrong number, just kidding. What the fuck?
And all I thought was, what I knew about addicts is like, obviously sometimes they run from that. Like if someone overdosed around them, they don't want to be involved. They don't want police there. So
this is real. This is before the Good Samaritan, dude.
So I had even texted that phone number quite a few times to be like, listen, it's okay. Like if you were involved in some way, like I'm not going to blame you. I just need to know if my brother has passed away. Never heard from that person. So then I'm tasked with like, what the fuck do I do? Yeah. Do I go and tell my mom? Is it a joke?
I'm thinking so many bad thoughts right now about this motherfucker.
Yeah,
no shit.
So I walk the longest walk of my life across whole office around us of people. And I'm composed. I'm holding it together and I'm walking across and can remember it like it was yesterday. My mom was in a meeting with an employee and I just stood at the door and I go, I need to talk to you. And the employee turned around and I said, I need you to leave. Like, I need to talk to my mom. And she shot up and she goes, what is it? And I had to explain to her. Someone just told me Jordan died. So I had to break that news to my mom. It gives me goosebumps to this day. And then she, of course, rightfully so, lost her mind, started calling his girlfriend at the time. And when she would answer, she was also an addict. She was like screaming at the top of her lungs, where is Jordan? Like we were getting no answers from anybody. She was away from him. Like she had just come back from a flight or something. Still get no answers. No one will tell us anything. So me and my mom decide to leave. I'm like, we've got to go home and figure this whole thing out. So we head home. I had just met my husband maybe 6 months before that. I call him. He was a railroad worker. So he just happened to be home, luckily, from the railroad. He drove up.
Railroad?
Union.
UP.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
I got a story. Not about any of this.
He drove to
Screech.
us. I had to call my mom's boyfriend at the time and break it to him. And then we get home. My mom still the whole drive there was like, no, it was just a joke. Like, he's not. And I'm like, oh yeah, no, I have no other thought in my mind. He's definitely gone. And it wasn't until maybe a couple hours later of me calling my brother's phone over and over and over, hoping someone will pick it up, that a detective picks it up. So confirmed, right? She wouldn't talk to me. She was like, I have to talk to next of kin. So I had to give my mom the phone just for her to literally say, yes, he's deceased. And my mom hand me back the phone. And they did a little bit of an investigation at that point. I don't know if that's normal, but just asked me some other questions. And then at that point,
the phrase "a little bit" of an investigation,
a
is
little
probably
bit,
pretty normal,
yeah, a little bit of an investigation.
They don't scour the.
No, not at all. And I don't remember what kind of information that detective gave me other than like, you're going to have to collect your brother's body from Florida. How do you want to go about doing that? He's going to obviously have to be flown, across. And then I just started making my way through, like, finally that roommate called me hours and hours later and said, I am so sorry. The detectives heard me call you and instantly said, you're not allowed to tell anybody anything until we talk. So he instantly hung up the phone.
See, that's why I kept my bad thoughts to myself.
Yeah. That was his story. And he was like,
still
was
not
super
happy
apologetic.
about but this is starting to see.
Now I'm mad at the
Let us
detectives.
pray.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do want to. I want to make a note on that. Like, we are seeing, at least here, the law enforcement and the village of Swansea in particular have been fucking incredible to welcome us to the community. And Chief Blomberg would come, and I heard him say at a town hall meeting that this is a disease, and like, I got fucking goose. That's when I started. I'm not a huge crier, but I did at that town hall meeting. That's when I started losing it, because I heard him stand up and tell the city council that these are not criminals. This is it's fucking illness. It's a disease.
Mm-hmm.
And to hear a chief of police say that, like, I'm like, we're turning the corner, man. The cruise ship is fucking turning.
Mm-hmm.
And so I do want to, yes, these, especially I can imagine the detectives in Florida probably, God, they see it and they're
they had no real empathy for what the news that they're delivering. That's for sure. Yeah.
Another junkie.
Yeah. So I really took on the role again, true to who I was always growing up in this scenario with my mom and my brother. I was just the fixer. My mom had lost
1,
herself.
8, or 9 is your Enneagram.
Okay. Good to know. I'll have to look that up later. But she lost it, rightfully so. And I had to figure out, I had to tell all the family members, I had to tell all the friends, I had to help plan the funeral. I had to do all the back and forth of how are we getting him from Florida? Are we cremating him? Are we burying him?
Your mom just broken.
Oh yeah. Absolutely. And I don't blame her a bit for it, but that was all just a blur. It was like, okay, you're in go mode. You got to get this shit done for your brother. I had to do that. And I think you and I talked during this time frame where it was like, my mom was
I got clean
specific.
in 2016. So at a year clean, I felt like Superman a little bit.
Working in the field. Yeah.
Right about the time.
Mm-hmm.
Right about the time.
And I used Nathaniel to my benefit of, my mom was very specific on no addicts will be coming to this funeral. We want nothing. I mean, she was so far past, like, I want nothing to do with any of it.
Imagine the anger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I didn't put it out there publicly that he had passed because we didn't want a bunch of people coming. And when people did hear and reach out, I'd have to like text Nathaniel and be like, does this person still actively, in addiction? And you would have to be like, yeah, no, maybe I don't know about this person. Maybe I do know about this person. And we really had just a small funeral of people that we trusted. So I mean, that was a whole whirlwind of things. And then from that point on, I mean, grief, I think that's what you and I talked about. Grief is it never ends. I mean, it's just a different phase all of the time.
There's life before and life after something like
literally. I heard something the other day that rang so true, which was like, my life is lived in 2 forms, which is the day, the days before my brother died and the days after my brother died.
You got to accept it, because if you don't, you're chasing a fucking pot of gold.
Absolutely.
At the end of the rim. You're thinking that this grief journey will end and it just goes away. You're never going to stop fucking being sad about your brother.
Right.
Ever.
Yeah.
You can live to 150.
Yeah. And then the fact that people, I feel like the only advice you ever get in those hard situations is eventually it'll get better. Eventually it won't be this sad.
I just don't know what to fucking say.
Yeah, and totally understand. But it never gets better. I think you just get used to dealing with it.
Yeah.
But for me, it's opposite for my mom. She has her own grieving journey, but for me, it helps talking about it. Like, I'd rather keep my brother alive. That's the only way you're going to keep them alive, is to
I agree with you.
Talk about them.
I do agree with you.
Right.
And I think it's like, it keeps their light shining, like I said, and there's people that are going to hear this that are going to be in some, I mean, when you don't think it's possible, like there's so much uniqueness to this story, but it's like goosebumps stand on my head. I got to introduce you to Becky. Like, her son. I mean, the fucking similarities from the name to the Facebook Messenger call. Yeah. And now, like, Becky is doing grief. My wife runs or lead. She creates grief wellness groups. Becky's attending one of them, and now they still meet with the people that they did this group with. Like, she's got a lot of you in you. Like, she's trying to be out there and talk about. She comes here and speaks to clients and family members on Saturdays once a month. Yeah. On Family Day, to talk to moms and how he had like 2 years clean time and got in a fight with his girlfriend and one hit and it was over, and it's not fair. Yeah, absolutely. And it's just a very, like I said, especially in the time. I mean, now I feel like there's a lot more. I don't know if I can say less stigma, but people are talking about addiction more. I think it's more definitely open. Evolved. Yeah. 100%. And back when I, first found out, I was in 7th grade when I found out my brother was going to his first rehab, and like, it emotionally just, fucked me up because I was so close to him. And my mom had a good job. It's a lot for a 7th grader too. For sure. I knew nothing of it, and my mom had like a good job, and I don't know, you just feel like you have to be hush hush. Did you ever drink or party? Oh yeah. So, I spent years after being a fixer of my brother and not having my dad around at the time. We've since connected, more recently, but my brother was my only same dad. Yes. I mean, just wanted to ask, how did he react when my dad? Yeah, when this is new for me. I don't know anything about your dad. Yeah. I mean, he wasn't present. I'm not trying to be like Walter Cronkite and ask the hard questions. Yeah, no, I love a good hard question. Ask them all. I love your story. Yeah. And a lot of people can relate. So yeah. And if I ask something that's out of line, just fucking right hook me. Yeah. No problem there either. My dad, again, grew up with a single mom, didn't know anything of my dad. I don't remember ever seeing my dad, but my mom just spoke very neutral about him, like never said anything bad. She told us their story. Your mom's a fucking warrior, man. You'd love her. What a she's awesome human, man. Deb Giffen is the best. She'd be amazing on this podcast one day. That's what I was just thinking. Like, I want to meet her and have her on because so never knew my dad growing up. My brother remembers very few memories with him. It wasn't until, again, everything comes to me. My half brother's mom reached out. My half brother's 6 months younger than me. Okay. So, his mom reached out to me on the good old MySpace days when I was 15. Oh, Jesus. And said, "Are you so-and-so? My son is your brother. He'd love to connect with you." And that's how How old were you? I was 15. That's inappropriate. Yeah. Now, yes. That's inappropriate for her to reach out to you as a 15-year-old and say that. Yep. I didn't think anything of it at 15. Of course not. But I bet it fucking changed your world. Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. It was its own trauma story. What does your mom think of that? Well, I lied for a long time. Yeah, got it. I hid it. Because you knew she'd be fucking pissed, right? Like, that's a woman. I didn't think she'd be mad about that. I thought she'd be mad that I was talking to my dad. So that all led to me contacting my dad for the first time. And I won't go too deep because I'm trying to mend things with my dad now, but he was never around in that time frame. Sure. The little bit we talked in that time frame, it went very poorly. And we reconnected again. The first time I met him was at the age of 21, and I moved to Kansas City, and he lived in Kansas City. So I met him there. That also went very poorly. Hope you got some Jack Stack's barbecue. Yes. That went really poorly, and I was just an angry woman towards him for a long time. Fair. And then yeah, so now, I mean, I think your original question was, how did my dad take it when my brother passed? We were at a point of not talking anyway. And really looking back, I did it as a fuck you to him. And I appreciate called your honesty and transparency. Yeah. I called him. I've repented for all this at this point, but I called him and was just like, your son died. You don't have to repent. You're not a Catholic. Well, it's all the same, right? I mean, I've made up for my You don't have
wrongdoings,
to.
but
guess what? Jesus don't give a fuck. You don't
I
have
appreciate that.
He knows your heart.
I appreciate that. But yeah, I did it as a pretty big fuck you to him, and he took it as a fuck you, and said,
you called him and said,
your
Jordan.
son has died. And I think all I remember him saying, he like kind of got loud and upset and was like, how did my son die? And I told him, I probably said some real mean things, real blameful things. And then I was given an ultimatum at that point from him of like, we either fix our relationship or don't talk to me type of a thing. And at that point I was just angry and mad and fuck you. Didn't talk for probably 10 years. So we just recently in the last 6 months have seen each other for the first time in 10 years. I've seen him twice in the last 6 months.
okay.
We actually just saw each other Saturday, told him I was coming to do this. So we're on a good path.
Okay.
On a good path there. I'm older and have forgiven a lot from that time frame. So
Has he done some work? Healing?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Great. I mean, because
yeah, he's done some. We wouldn't be here if he hadn't.
Sure.
for
That's kind of what I was
Yeah.
deducing. All right. Don't fucking right hook me, but I'm gonna pray for you.
Okay.
Do this,
Yeah. Appreciate that.
Yeah, of course. That's hard shit, man.
Yeah, a whole lot of just all of that. So that really formed like because I think you had again originally wrapping back around. Originally, had asked me if I did drugs and things like that's what I had as examples of men. So my brother was my only example of a consistent man in my life, and he wasn't consistent, right? So that just led me to a lot of really terrible men who I wanted to fix, who were addicts. I somehow still always surrounded myself with addicts. So that came with its own set of...
You've done a lot of therapy. I can tell. The way you're in a good spot to talk about this and seeing like...
I've evolved a lot for sure. I'm always about self-growth. I'm always about like fixing... I've done a lot of, what do they call it? EMDR. They had me start doing that. So I had to really get
Chaz loves that shit.
Yeah.
Are you Chaz?
No.
Who is Chaz?
His therapist.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Got it. Yeah. So we've done a lot of that. I've done
I need
a lot
you to sign an ROI, by the way, because you're both on the wisdom team. We'll talk about that later.
So I've done a lot of work, a lot of, self-work to get through this grief period, to get through all that trauma that you don't even remember until you become an adult and have relationships and have kids of your own. God forbid they bring it out of you. And then you have to really look back and start to work on yourself and like, where did it all go wrong? How do I, fix these? How do I stop becoming a fixer and stop letting terrible men lead me down the same paths,
And you were able to do that. Sounds
Yes. Yeah. Thank God. Took a lot of work.
And now you're happily married.
Happily married.
Healthy relationship with kiddos and
9 years together. We have 6 kids between the two of us.
Holy
yeah.
shit.
Oh boy, you guys.
Yeah, we
got
got
a
our
lot
hands
to do.
full.
Yeah.
People always
How'd you
have
find
that
time
reaction,
to come do this?
but it's not that crazy.
I struggle with one.
Yeah, me too.
I know. It's not easy. The mom guilt's not easy when you have to leave. And I get the 3rd degree from them, but
well, we don't have a hard stop. If you need, just keep going. Stay as
they'll
long
be in bed
as
by the
you
time.
need.
They'll be in bed by the time I get back.
Yeah, you
but
drove a fucking
I
while
did.
to get here.
Hour 20
Man.
minutes, I think.
Thanks.
Yeah, absolutely. It felt better to do it in person than
way better.
For sure.
Right.
than on a screen.
So you have, between the two of you, have 6 kids. Out there in BFE, Washington.
Washington, you got the hard R on there.
Right. You are a is it entrepreneur, small business owner? Tell us about that.
Yeah. So all the above. I graduated high school a little bit early and went to get my cosmetology license. So I was still am a licensed cosmetologist, but worked in that field for 4 years. And then one day I was in a shit spot in life, real bad spot in life with an addict that was just kind of taking me down with him. And she called me one day and was like, I really want to open a store. I want you and your brother to come be owners of it with me and open the store. So that's what we did. I gave up cosmetology and came down to our area in Washington. We opened up like a consignment antique type of store. And my brother also worked that with me in his bouts of sobriety. And then that turned into, I was kind of a gypsy. I was moving all around. I was changing jobs all the time. That one grounded me a little bit. And then that turned into my mom trying to give me opportunities of like, she's a businesswoman. She's an entrepreneur through and through. She has multiple businesses. And so she was trying to bring me over to her dark side of come work. Let me give you anything you want to do to see if you like doing what I do.
there's a myth about being like a small business owner, your own boss is like, you're like, you know, because you end up becoming, you work harder. And you like, you think you're going to gain some freedom and you completely sacrifice fucking freedom.
Right.
Yeah. Being clocking in 9 to 5, you'd have a lot more.
I mean, I'm telling you, like, I'm just gonna be, I don't have to work for anybody. I'm gonna be my own boss, and you in your mind think that you're kind of liberating yourself when that's the exact opposite. Of what you're doing.
Absolutely.
I've been through it for the last 4 years. Been the hardest now 5 years of my life. Sober.
Yeah, it's something. And working with
stressed
family,
but blessed. As people ask how you doing, I'm like, I'm stressed, but I'm fucking grateful to be here.
Working with family is really difficult. But you know, I went through a couple different positions. She owns a property management company. So we employ maintenance and managers for low income housing across Missouri. And so she kind of brought me into that side, and I didn't love any of it. Still just kind of jumped around to different jobs. And now, I guess, long story short, now I am a full-time HR director for that company. So I help manage 100 employees. And help make decisions about that company with the other director, and also simultaneously am managing a group of employees that house our boutique and our cafe. So we have a boutique and a cafe downstairs. We do things like, I've got a great chef that does amazing food like lunch and breakfast. We have specialty coffees. We own a coffee roastery.
Yeah. That's so what's the name of this?
Swallow's Nest.
Okay.
Swallow's Nest. We own a coffee roastery that's housed in a different location, but one of my employees roasts our coffee right down the road. Brew? Yes, we have an amazing cold brew.
Dude, you got to see her setup. It's really cool.
It's very cool. Yeah, you just saw it for the first time not too long ago.
Let me ask you this. How far are you from like Potosi?
Oh, gosh.
It's Washington County, isn't it?
An hour?
Yeah, Washington County is different than Washington, Missouri.
Franklin County, Washington, Missouri.
You're talking about...
Washington is not in Washington County?
No.
Washington, Missouri is in Franklin County. Potosi is in Washington County.
Ass state.
It's in Washington
like
County.
An hour and something, wasn't it? Yeah.
It's an hour.
Fucking Missouri.
Yeah.
That's stupid.
It's something
Isn't
else.
it? Jeff,
yeah,
that's
I agree.
You're mad at geography and topography. You're not mad at
I love
Karissa.
Harry Truman, though, maybe.
Lewis and Clark. I mean, it's their fault.
Yeah. We have a very cool setup there, though. I mean, I'm so blessed. I get to work with family. I really, my calling has been the HR. Like, people are it's funny because in my personal life, I don't really like people. I don't like to spend time with a whole lot of people. I don't like to, I don't know. I think you and I were talking about this earlier. It's like when you have to help as a career manage people's emotions every day. And in HR, you're like a counselor to everyone for anything. When you have to deal with that as a neutral third party being HR, it's like when you go home, I don't want to talk to anyone. I want to not even manage my own emotions, let alone any of that.
That shit's like, so you have 100 employees in the like
property management company.
How I mean, and how scattered is
all over Missouri? We have like 72 properties all over Missouri. Wow. Yeah. And my mom owns some of those. We have a construction company that we own together that was my brother's. We inherited it from him when he passed.
Residential, commercial?
I don't even know.
Okay.
I think he did decks at some point, like renovations.
Nice.
Renovations. Okay. He was great at that stuff. We have a property investment company that we own together. We own the boutique and cafe together.
God damn.
And she has, I looked at her org chart not that long ago. She had probably 70 businesses on it that she's a part of. Where she finds the time in the day, I have no idea.
No shit.
She's
Talk about giving hope.
Oh, I haven't done that in a while.
I know. I'm sorry.
I don't even know. Thank you for bringing this up.
Yeah, I didn't plug it because I haven't done anything with it in a long time. But Nathaniel was a part of that journey too. So when my brother died, I feel like right after that point, I was like gung ho to do something, right, to make some kind of a change without feeling any of the grief. Like I was just in that gray period. Yeah. And so
it's another way to avoid the grief.
Yeah.
Sure.
I got real ballsy, and a good friend of mine who's a graphic designer created, my brother was an artist. I should have brought his artwork. I said that to Nathaniel and I didn't. He had this amazing art.
Like what type? Like painting, color,
I'll have to show you some photos. I mean, just these crazy like caricatures. He was always super artistic growing up. And every time he was in recovery, we would just find these collages that
some
literally
of the most
show
creative motherfuckers I've ever met.
It is so wild.
Yep.
It's so wild. So he had a ton of that, and so in some of his photos,
some tortured soul shit, man.
Yes.
We are
literally. And some of his photos, like, just look at some of these. I don't know if you can.
Oh, wow.
I mean, there's just, you can see his own battle, and his, like, there's God and there's light and there's good, and then there's the devil and just all kinds of shit down there.
It's a girl with big tits.
Oh my gosh. Oh yeah, he did draw one. I know which one you're talking about.
Right. I mean, what the fuck? I'm just looking. Is that for sale?
His art?
the one,
the girl? No.
It's right in between God and the devil.
I mean,
Just
is there
tits.
not a better, like, who created the hottie with big tits? God or the devil? I like
that's
that.
an age-old question.
I could be in the fucking, like, art museum pondering that.
Yes.
Pondoff is pondering.
Who created
There's some AC.
woman? Who
I feel
created?
that's great.
I was going to get some.
But
sorry.
I had a good friend who created
incredible.
a logo. Thank you.
Here,
a
let me see.
logo
Pass that over
off
here.
of his.
Yeah, he's an artist, and he's not an addict, which is he's such
not.
a fucking outlier.
I'm not a this kind of artist.
His
He's
best
got
stuff.
some mental health shit though.
His
Scroll
best stuff isn't even on there. I
right
should have
or
brought
left.
it, but
What do you do with
Wow.
it?
so I just kind of got it back out, right? So I just my mom found it all, so I just copied it all and made a big book of it to give to my half brother because I just went and visited him. I've given some to my kids that aren't provocative or have,
Right.
you know,
I only
kids,
saw one.
Yeah,
titty.
there's a lot of, there's some interesting stuff on there.
So
Have you got any ink of it? You thought about doing that?
I've
Yeah.
got a piece of his on my
you don't
leg.
really like tattoos though.
No, not at all. The devil likes tattoos.
That's right.
I'm just a walking sin, as I like to say.
God.
But yeah, I've got a tattoo. My husband has a tattoo of one of his. Some of his my brother's friends have tattoos.
Bro, if Jesus was here today, he'd be fucking tatted up.
Yeah.
I'm
have
telling
to be.
you.
Have to be. Only the
A
coolest
couple
people
scriptures
are.
though, a couple verses,
Yeah.
but he'd be tatted up.
Coolest people are. But so Gift and Giving Hope, it was just like an attempt for me to do something about something. And I started it, and I think my hope at the time was like to get out there and talk about my brother's story. Right after my brother died, his counselor or his
Sponsor.
sponsor, thank you. His sponsor reached out to me. And it was like literally maybe weeks after he died and said, a guy that your brother mentored in a sober living wrote a book and dedicated it to Jordan.
No shit.
And sent me a copy of it. And there's this whole dedication to my brother and how he helped this guy. And so I was just trying to get his story out there through that. And I think Nathaniel helped me with putting on an event at the time where we tried to get people together to talk about prevention, have people share their stories. Nathaniel shared his story. And it really just kind of died off after that. I then got into my real grief, and I was like, I don't want anything to do with any of this. I don't want anything to do with addiction.
I still have the shirt, Giving Hope.
Everyone
really
has
cool.
shirts. I need to revamp it with his artwork. That's what I've been trying to do.
Yeah, I mean that's what I was thinking. That'd be
Yeah.
cool as fuck.
Yeah, I would love to do that. I would love to get his art out somehow for something. But I'm kind of in that headspace again to be out there telling a story, doing whatever I can. But yeah, I haven't posted on that. I haven't done anything with that in a lot of years, probably 2020, 2019. So it's still out there. I just don't haven't done anything with it.
we did this podcast in 2020 and then stopped because, you know, small business ownership, fucking hell.
Yeah.
The enemy of that drug me
Yes.
down that rabbit hole, and now we're back, and I'm ready to say, here, hand over the
Yeah.
keys to whoever wants them on the other shit. So I totally feel that, man. This
Yeah.
is, you know, just you're just taking a break, and
Yeah.
now you're.
Now I'm in a
so
point in my
I'm
grief.
excited to see that.
Yeah, for sure. And that's where Nathaniel came in. I was just like, hey, plug me in somehow.
Yeah.
With someone about something somewhere that I can be helpful.
None of this shocks me either. Like, you've always been that type of person, you know?
Yeah, tell me about me, Nathaniel.
Yeah, I got to go way back to remember it. But like, as I hear your life unfold, and as I was introduced to your life as an adult, it was never a shock. It was like,
I've heard that a lot.
knowing you and your mom,
Yeah.
like, you guys are the type of people to do really great work, to do a lot, you
Yeah.
know? Doesn't shock me
I
at
gotta
all that
meet
you
this
have
mom of yours.
you have many
She's great.
hats and you do.
Yeah.
I'm
You're like,
so impressed.
you're
by
like
this
the
man.
head of household, right?
Yeah.
That's just the term I'm using, but you guys are just
You better be
fucking
with 6
doing it,
kids.
man.
Let me tell you.
Sure
It's
are.
crazy.
Sure are.
They will run fucking over you if
Yeah.
you're not in charge. I've
Yeah.
heard that from people. That's the one thing in common. People have multiple kids. They're like,
You got to be the
you gotta
alpha
get more
in the
regimented.
home.
Yeah,
you got to be the
They will
alpha in a
eat you
home.
alive.
For
I can
sure.
imagine 6 Charlies. I'd be a dead man.
Well, they're all scattered in ages. Don't get me wrong. People have that reaction of like, oh my God. But I had that reaction
I do
too
picture
when I
you in a
found out.
minivan with 6 babies.
I
going
don't
to
do
the pool.
minivans.
God
Okay.
bless.
I don't do
You got a
minivans.
Lincoln Navigator.
Yeah, not even. But no, they're all.
No, you got that Cadillac
I have a
out
Cadillac
front.
and
Girl.
Haven't escalated. Only 2 of them are at home all the time. My 5 and my 4, or my 5 and my 3-year-old. They're about to be 4 and 6.
So they're the ones requiring the energy.
Yeah, for sure. The rest of them they're teenagers. We have a 22-year-old. I'm 32. Okay. Got a 22-year-old, a 19, a 16, a 14, and then a 5 and 3. So they're all scattered. It's fun.
So you and your husband met 6 months before Jordan passed away, is what you're saying?
He maybe more, 9. We met in January of 2017, and Jordan died in November.
How's he? Sounds like he was your rock, but I'm putting those words in your mouth. How was he throughout all this?
For sure.
Did he know Jordan? I mean, really, did he get to know him well?
No. Surprisingly and luckily, divine intervention, if you will, he met Jordan one time before Jordan passed. We actually... Good old story. My brother used to get in wrecks. That's obviously an addict thing, right? Like high and driving.
That's not a good combo, no.
No. And he got in wrecks all the time. So he wrecked his truck in Florida. And however it came about, we had to go pick up the truck from Florida to get it back. I think that there was like legal stuff happening. So my mom flew my boyfriend and I at the time, my husband now, Brandon, to Florida. My brother was in a rehab center. And he got to meet with me for maybe 45 minutes at that rehab center while I flew down there. That's all the time he got to meet with me. I brought him like a gas station sandwich. And my poor boyfriend, husband at the time, or husband now, just sat in the waiting room. So unfortunately, his first introduction to my brother was meeting him in a rehab facility while I got 45 minutes with him. So I think they said hello and goodbye, and that was all the interaction they had. We took the truck. We drove a broken truck back to Missouri.
God.
That was the only time they met. And so, yeah,
it's real life though, man.
Yeah. My husband was always he's definitely the rock. Like I said, I spent way too much time with a lot of really, really terrible men.
Isn't it nuts though? Like when you meet someone that's different than what you're used to, and you're like, oh, why didn't I didn't realize it's not supposed to be fucking that hard.
Yeah.
This is.
Well, and as you mature, right? I mean, young and dumb. And I had, a lot of men catch me at young ages when they were way too old to be with me. And, it took getting out of the last toxic relationship and having your head a little bit clear to be like, oh, I deserve better all of a sudden. I don't know what work I need to do, but I know I deserve better.
I can track with that. I like especially when I was at the worst of my drinking. I mean, I always say when it took me a while to ask my wife out now, because I met her at church and I'm like, this is life and death for me. I just got into rehab. I'm like, and rumor was she wouldn't even give me a chance until until I was I had to be certain amount sober. Yeah. And but like I was like, I can't ask a girl out this church, because when not if we break up, it's gonna be nasty and we're not gonna go to the same church. I can't go to the same tavern with any girl I fucking dated, right? It's like more or less the same church. But then things were like, I think she said, let's just promise to be kind to one another. I'm like, oh wow.
What is that?
What the fuck is
that's healthy boundary. Yeah. A healthy boundary. Yeah. And so
I'm like, so this is what this is supposed to.
Super relatable once you find, like, as long as I think a little bit.
Smash a bottle over my head.
Yeah, as long as you know a little bit of what
I'm a fucking battered.
You are
battered husband.
I am.
I think as long as you know a little bit about what you shouldn't allow in your life, you're better off. And so I'd gotten to that point. I met my husband on a whim, and he was definitely the rock in that situation. Like, he didn't know my brother, but he was just there to support whatever I needed at the time.
Good for him. That's
and he's very very supportive of all of this. So like, you go do whatever, you go do what you got to do, tell the story. He can't relate as much.
I was going to ask if he's how far removed he is from.
Yeah, he's got some family members that have struggled,
we all do, right?
Yeah. That have struggled with addiction, but nothing like I did growing up. He could not relate to like, you did what? Your household was like what? So yeah, couldn't relate to that.
Have a male Ashley, got it. Fucking door.
Can't relate to that, but tries any way he knows how. But he's definitely the was just the rock in that scenario, and still, tries to keep my brother alive. Like, biggest thing I worried about becoming a mom was like, how do you keep your family member alive who's dead with your kids who have never met them, like, how does that go about? And so I was really concerned about that. And my husband, Brandon, really helped me keep him alive. And now my son is named after my brother. My maiden name was Giffen. Everyone called my brother Giffen. And so we named my son Giffen.
Nice.
And they talk about it all the time. Literally this morning, again, it was like a sign from God, if you will, that my children in the backseat this morning, like, I really miss Uncle Jordan. And you know that he picked me for you up in heaven, Mom, and he got to hold me before I came down.
Wow,
to you.
he's fucking kid said
Yeah.
this?
And you know, how did Uncle Jordan fly up to heaven? Like, they talk about him all the time.
Carissa, I'm not saying I told you so, but I told you so.
Yeah.
I know I've been doubting. Now I'm starting to believe.
Yeah. So they talk about him all of the time.
Skeptics are welcome.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
That's
you got to
wild.
prove it to us. Yeah.
That's cool.
And now Giffen, my 5-year-old, he's skateboarding like my brother did, and he's a natural. He's an artist. The only time he's calm and chill, he makes amazing art for the age, which is so odd to me.
Wow.
So I see my brother carried on in those ways. Of
Sure.
Like,
I
think-
see it.
yeah.
I don't even.
I got goosebumps about
Yeah,
it.
I think that I had a relationship with God up until my brother died. And I think, as most people do, once you have someone die, you're like, I'm not feeling you here today, God. Where you at
No,
on
I
that
get
one?
pissed. The scary thing though is like, and like, this can't be the fucking end. I got to be back with this motherfucker again. I've said that I lost him. I'm like, it's bullshit that you took him, and fuck you for taking him. But I got to get to where he's at one day.
Yeah.
This can't be it. This is, and it can't. Fuck.
Yeah.
Like, it can't. You guys are gonna be fucking back.
Right. And I
thick as
totally
thieves
believe
again,
that.
man.
Yeah. I totally believe
Wherever
that. I
it
believe in an afterlife, I believe in heaven. I believe in plenty of things. I gave you shit for some of it.
I feel like man, hope's powerful, and I hope to fuck.
Yeah.
And then just to hear that shit about your son, like,
That's
that is
cool.
crazy, man.
He's definitely like, and I just think all the time now, like, man, I really worried when they were first born, like, how am I going to keep Jordan alive? Because he's such a huge part of my story that you obviously want your kids to know, like, this was your uncle. And they talk about him left and right. I mean, they're doing things that he did. He's built like him. I mean,
I don't mean to put thoughts and words in your mouth, but I bet one of your biggest fears when your brother died was that people would forget about him, and
always.
His light shining bright as fuck.
Yeah. Isn't it crazy how much, I'm sure you guys can relate to this, how much people want to talk about that person right when they pass, and then everyone just falls off. And then it's only up to me and my mom. I mean, we are the ones that talk about him. I talk about him, in my everyday life with my kids. She's getting to that point. But you're the ones that have to keep them alive and keep their story out there. So that's kind of what I'm trying to do. Yeah. Good
for you. There's gonna be a ton of people that relate to this.
Yeah.
Last name Stratman. Do you know any Stratmans in Washington?
Yeah,
aren't they? Isn't half the town a Stratman?
Yeah. Stratman feed.
Stratman.
I mean, there's
So my old man's business part bought the company from Rusty. Rusty's, so I've seen family. He worked with us. We worked together forever. I've known Rusty my whole life. His wife Bobby is one of like 19 of these motherfuckers.
Yeah, there's a lot of them.
Dad
Around.
had 19, I think, is the number of.
Yeah.
So I've been to.
And people scoff at my 6.
Right. Now 19. There's no.
Yeah.
I mean, get the fuck out of here. But
yeah.
I was at.
I think she met her mom once, right?
Right.
Yeah,
At Washington, I've been there for funerals for that family.
I bet.
And it's like the whole town's because.
Fun fact: where our boutique and cafe is was one of the known forever since the 1800s or maybe 1900s funeral home.
Is it haunted?
Washington.
Is it
we
haunted
buried
so?
a friend of ours in high school,
We did.
freshman year.
We did.
In this place where
now
his wake was now is her little
We
deal.
we sucked the funeral out of it. Yeah, we sucked the funeral out of it. Some would say it's haunted. I do not. I have employees who say it's haunted, who say they hear things. We've had people want to do like investigative work there, but it was very heavily frowned upon in our community because people didn't find it okay to.
Oh, I can imagine. Yeah.
If their loved one was laid to rest, and we respect that. We're not a family of ghost hunters by any means. But
I love the idea of it, but I don't believe
it's an amazing building. My office for the longest time where I conducted HR business was the autopsy room.
Oh, that's awesome.
And we renovated. I mean, it looks like a funeral home. We had to take out the urinal that they dumped things down. We had to take out the shower. We literally sucked the funeral. Still had the plastic walls, the biohazard signs.
You didn't have like an incinerator there, did you?
No.
That would have been
Nope.
crazy.
We still have an elevator that used to take the dead bodies up and down. We still use that as a freight elevator. So cool history. That's for sure.
Well, I want people to, when you're cruising through Washington, to stop by Swallow's Nest.
Yeah.
I know. I think I might just have to take a trip
downtown.
there.
Yep.
Washington's
It's a
a
cool
great
spot.
little town for
It
sure.
is.
And these guys, I'm going to tell Rusty and Bobby about it. They've probably been there 100 times actually.
Do they live in Washington?
They live in Chesterfield, but they're in Washington.
Yeah.
All the time for.
Come our way.
Yeah, they'll love it.
Family.
Swallow's Nest. Don't forget it.
Appreciate
awesome.
that.
Yeah, man.
Appreciate
Swallow's Nest in Washington,
In
Missouri.
Washington,
On
Missouri.
Elm Street, owned by Carissa. And
Is it really
Dad.
on Elm Street?
Yeah.
Elm Street.
Was the-
Fucking Nightmare on Elm Street shit.
Yeah, we used to host a Halloween themed downtown block thing called Nightmare off Elm Street because we
that's
were
cool.
all
Well,
on-
you got to.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
it was great. It was great.
I got hit by a car in 2006.
You're such
right,
a dumb fuck,
right
bro.
in front of. I broke my
You gotta
every
plug
bone
that.
in my left leg right in front of.
Why were you high?
No,
Is that what
no,
got you?
I was with.
You were-
What do
you
you mean?
remember when I broke my leg?
Vaguely.
Dude, we were in middle school. It was
Oh.
I was with Austin Carey,
Yeah,
John.
well, that'll
Weirman.
do it. That'll do it.
Okay.
Yeah.
We were riding bikes, and I was like, "Come on, John, you're going too slow." I went around him in between two parked cars, right in front of Swallow's Nest. Smoked. Broke my femur, my tib, fib, left leg.
You're gonna need some fucking opioids for that.
Yeah.
They shoot you up.
That's
Did that
exactly.
start off some things
it
for you?
started some shit in motion.
Yeah.
You went from
for sure.
smoking crack to.
I was like, man, that shit's good. Yeah.
I never had that in me. I've tried probably almost every drug and nothing stuck. Not
That's
a
a
single
good
thing.
thing.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
a great
Bless you
thing.
for
Thank
that.
God. Yeah, thank God.
Yeah, man. Well, this was great. I appreciate you coming
Yeah.
out here for this. Nathaniel, thanks for the intro.
Yeah, man.
Thanks for being the
Just good
support
people.
person.
Hell yeah.
Yeah,
Always.
appreciate it.
He's you're welcome to both of you. Welcome to pop in anytime and come on. I got to meet this mother here. She's a
I know she'll be next. We'll bring.
you know.
her.
I mean,
Strong
not
woman.
just for this. Like she could probably fucking speak to meet Becky as well. You guys
She'd
got to
love
meet
to,
her.
probably. Yeah.
You know, Kevin Bunton, who is the director of our
Mm-hmm.
family program, loves having people come in and talk to
Yeah.
on Family Day and real life stories,
Mm-hmm.
keeping Jordan alive,
Yeah.
but also showing families and their loved ones that this is the game is
It's a
more
family
dangerous than
disease,
it-
right? Isn't that what they
100%,
say? Yeah, it's a
100%.
family disease.
Well, you guys are testament to that.
Yeah.
Like the feelings that you shared throughout this evening
Mhm.
about like from the beginning, how could you? Why are you doing
Mhm.
this to us?
So much
to
anger.
growing up,
Yeah.
it happening. You're finding healing in it. It's been
Mhm.
lots of years. You're talking about it. Your mom's got a perspective being the mother.
Right.
You've got a perspective being the child. It really is crazy.
I mean,
Yeah.
you
This-
hit every
this is
wheel,
one
every
example.
emotion on like the wheels
Yes.
of motion.
Yeah,
of
for
emotions.
sure.
Yeah, this is one example, one family.
Yeah.
Every family's got one.
Yeah.
It's crazy,
It's wild.
dude.
But like the families that are here on Family Day are in the pit and they're going
Yeah.
through it and they're
They need the most support right
bingo.
now.
And
Yeah.
hearing shit like this is like, oh fuck,
Yeah.
we're not crazy. We're
Yeah.
not the most fucked up family on the planet. There's other people that
Yeah.
have walked through this and hurt and cried and
Mhm.
fought and thrown shit at the wall. And man, maybe there's some hope.
Yeah.
Well, like it talks about in our step in our recovery literature, like it says all the pain that I've ever been through, if I've helped one person, it's all worth it, right?
Yeah.
So not to use your story as a negative example,
Mhm.
that's not my intention, but it's like talking about your experience with people who can make the connection that, wait a second, our loved one isn't dead yet, right?
Yeah.
Like yet. But that's exactly what's
Mhm.
going to happen
Yeah.
if we don't change some shit
Yeah.
together.
Yeah.
You know,
For sure.
you have to use your story to do stuff like that.
And
Yeah.
you're doing
You
it.
know?
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
I'm open to any opportunity y'all have. So
I do want to get some more ink. Look,
I can probably hook you up with someone there too.
I'm gonna get Bristol. I'm gonna get Bristol on my belly, and I'm gonna get Ashley on my ass cheek,
There you go.
Perfect.
her face.
Perfect.
She gets Skyline Chili and Joe Burrow.
Shut the fuck up, bro. I do like that Jack Stacks out of Kansas City. Beef
Fire,
ribs,
dude.
baby.
Yeah,
Beef
Jack
ribs.
Stacks.
You're from
Good.
Kansas City too. Yeah.
Slaps barbecue is best. Q39's good. LC's good.
I don't know any of those.
Gates. Sorry, Jack
Gates
Stacks got the
sucks.
beef
Gates,
ribs.
yeah.
Gates sucks.
Shut the
Sucks.
fuck up,
Dude,
dude.
sucks.
You talk so
Dude,
much
if you are from Kansas City, you don't eat at Gates and Arthur Bryant's anymore. Like it
shit. You
used
go to
be
Jack
good.
Stacks when I'm in
Used to-
town,
used to be
motherfucker.
good.
If I'm picking up the tab, Jack Stacks beef ribs.
Yeah.
They got that crown.
Your measurement of good food is also shit chili, apparently. So
Yeah, it is.
we probably
It's so
can't
bad.
take your opinion.
Do you
into
want
account.
drive-through chili? Like,
Not
just think about that.
You ever had
specifically.
Wendy's?
No.
It's freaking awesome.
Wendy's has a decent
Wendy's,
like
chili.
Wendy's chili,
Wendy's
bro.
is fire.
So don't
Wendy's
talk
has got
too much
great
shit.
chili.
Yeah,
Yeah, Wendy's is
Wendy's
fire.
is okay. Drive.
I'm going to
chili.
Jack in the Box on the way home.
Dude, I
Tacos.
love a
Just
Jack.
don't boost any
Here's
cars
my
on the
thing
way
about
there.
Jack in the Box, and this might be a little bougie.
It all wraps back around. To
There's
Jack in the
nothing
Box.
about Jack in the Box that's
Well,
bougie.
this is my
bro.
problem. I can't find a clean one. Like, I would
Well,
love to
that's-
patronize
Are any
a
of them?
Jack in the Box.
None
You
of
used
them
to
are
shoot
clean.
up in these motherfuckers.
I don't live like that anymore, though. I rise
Your body
above.
is probably so warned off so many germs that you're fine.
Freshman year in
I'd be
high school,
alright.
I was puking at the one up the road, and fucking like my face was on the urinal, bro.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
puking. I mean,
You're invincible.
Dude, I'm straight up
I should
going
be
to
dead.
Jack in the Box for dinner.
That sounds
tonight
great.
on
We're
the
gonna
way
see
home.
each of you in the
Yeah,
drive-through on the way home.
Dude, my grandpa
can't
died
tell-
last year, but he loved Jack in the Box tacos all the way up till he died. My grandma
Was that the
hated
funeral
it.
home food?
Dude,
Did
he
you,
just
like,
loved it.
Box of like bunch of tacos for everybody.
That's
No,
a great
dude,
idea.
no. He
Buttermilk.
would.
idea.
Got to get that buttermilk.
We
You
would.
gotta get the ranch,
We would
yeah.
sneak together and get tacos. My grandma would get pissed about it.
His
Funny story.
cholesterol,
What-
yeah.
Did you drive him up there?
Was your grandma fat shaming you?
No,
You need
she
to talk to
always
Chaz
does.
about that.
This is serious.
Chaz
One-
don't like that
real
shit.
quick.
He's a body image guy.
When I got
need to go
clean
to
this
Chaz.
time, my
Yeah, you
grandpa
do.
said, "If you stay clean, I'll buy you lunch." You know, it was like whatever. I'm like,
Right.
yeah, okay, Grandpa. I've never done that, but I'll stay clean just like every other time. I got like to a year clean, and I think it took like another year to collect my lunch from him.
Uh-huh.
But I was excited to go over there and say, "Grandpa, you know, I've got this
Yeah.
clean time," and this is like cool because he was very proud of me, but he does, you know, this is how he showed it. But
Mm-hmm.
we got in the car and we drove, and he took me to Jack in the Box.
Hey, he didn't take you to
Hey,
get crab
that's
legs.
a
So you
grandpa thing
started
to
off
do.
in a shit way at Jack
Yeah,
in the
yeah.
Box with us making some bad
Yeah.
decisions, and then you ended it in
The
a positive
same Jack in
note.
the Box,
yeah,
too. Oh, that's
positive note.
And he
hilarious.
got me like a cheeseburger and fries. I'm like, listen, I'm
You're a big
guy.
boy, brother. You need a little bit more
I
than
think
that.
I was
A
like, Grandpa, I need
cheeseburger.
a little bit more than that. And he started complaining about how
I
much it
cut
was
it
going to
off
cost
there.
me to
That's
feed
such
me.
a grandpa
I'm
thing
like,
to do.
yeah,
He's like, here's a whole
100%.
shiny corner.
Yeah. But it's like,
99
dude, you said if I stayed clean, here I am.
You better
Like,
give me
I've
10
done this.
tacos,
Yeah,
ultimate
give me
cheese,
anything I
Yeah,
want.
I want something to take
potato
home.
Yeah.
wedges,
Yeah.
motherfucker.
Yeah.
Egg
Maybe you'd
rolls.
be going to Sparrow's Nest or
Yeah.
something.
I think I
Swallows.
ate it.
Swallow's Nest.
Swallow's Nest. Yeah,
Sparrow. That's not the first time I've heard
I'm sure
Sparrow's
it's
Nest.
not.
Not the first time.
S-bird.
Yep.
that's funny.
Some kind of bird.
It's hard to
Good
not
stuff.
remember the. Never mind.
I'm an old
The
fuck.
word
So.
swallow.
Chris, if you were a bird, you'd
God.
be a swallow.
I don't know if that's a
I knew he was going to
compliment
say
or
that.
Mic drop.
I knew he was going to say
I
that.
don't know if
Mic
that's a
drop.
compliment.
My
but
buddy
okay.
in Champaign, anytime he'd leave the bar, he'd leave and he'd turn around to the whole bar and yell, "Pondoff swallows!" and then he'd fucking roll out. He needs this motherfucking place. Let me tell you. I
yeah,
love you.
I really want to bring my mom to your podcast one of these times when you've got
do
an
it.
open spot. I think she'd be
That
great
would be
for it.
cool.
Yeah. We'll have you back so she can really tell you how she felt about you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Please, there's some stuff that needs to be dug up here.
Yeah. I just said to
Damn.
her the other day, I was like, man, did you know that? Because I heard you talk in your podcast episode about South Winds being government housing. I didn't realize that.
Yeah.
And I go, Mom, did you know that that's where Nathaniel came from? She goes, yeah. I
Yeah.
knew. Like I knew she knew
Yeah.
what your situation was as a kid. I had no idea what your situation
right,
was as a
because
kid.
we were kids. But let's
Right.
be honest, she didn't like me because of it. You know,
I don't
I'm
know. I
joking.
think she didn't
I'm
like you for
joking.
plenty of other
Yeah,
reasons.
I
but
didn't help the effort. I
maybe
gave
like
her
the
plenty of
Jack in the
reason.
Box
Yeah, yeah,
drive
yeah.
probably didn't help.
See,
that.
I think we need to take the show on the road to Washington.
Yeah.
Dude, let's
You can
host
do it
one
up at
from the
Swallow's
Swallow's
Nest.
Nest.
At
be
the
fun,
Sparrow's
bro.
Nest.
I'll feed you guys lunch and coffee, and
Yeah,
All right,
as
Swallows.
long as
Deb will be on the podcast.
as long as the food and drinks are going to be free or comped, I'll be there. But if I have
to know.
you
I mean, I'll
Good
treat you
to
to
know.
Jack in the Box, bro. Like,
hey, you got
we could go to the
a
same
gift
one.
card.
Are you
won
struggling?
that basket with the Swallow's Nest gift
You're right.
card.
I did.
Uh-oh.
if you
I
can't
will-
afford a taco at Jack in the Box, I'm gonna be worried about your recovery.
Listen, dude. I went to an event at her Swallow's Nest a couple months ago.
Yeah.
And I won. I said right before they're pulling
goes, "It's
names.
gonna be me."
And I said, Carissa, $20. So they pull my name. Nathaniel, I won the big gift basket. I'm like, get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, that was a good time.
It was cool.
That was a good time.
We're gonna do this. We're gonna stay in touch. Thanks
Yeah,
for coming on.
absolutely.
Plugging the restaurant. Love it. Love coffee. Love cold brew nitro even.
Yeah,
Because that's my new thing. Getting jacked up on cold brew.
we've
Cold
got it
brew
for
is
you.
awesome, dude.
We've got it. Thank you for having me on. I
You're the
appreciate the
best.
opportunity.
I'm really inspired by you.
Thank
No
you.
question about it. And your mother is like a superhero.
for sure.
And so is your
Absolutely.
brother. And his light
Yeah.
is still shining.
Absolutely.
I promise you that.
Thank you.
All right. Thanks for coming.
Yeah,
Let us
thanks.
pray.